that it is
It is live
created by.
right now. That is very funny. You're right, Matt. I thought that was very humorous as well. Welcome
Yes.
everyone. Welcome everyone to the second of two podcasts celebrating Wikid's 5th anniversary. We're really excited to be
Woo!
talking with you guys again, and we're joined by Cody with us, and we have some other creators will be joining us shortly as well throughout the festivities here. So thanks for joining us, Cody.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Happy to celebrate 5 years of Wicked Comics. That's badass.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a long road, and hopefully just getting started.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
Interesting thought, though. I actually just thought of this when you're speaking. Cody is actually the first person that we signed on, I believe, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There
So,
you go.
I mean, Cody's been here for really the long haul with us.
Yeah, I would
Yes, I
say.
am.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean that's
Yes.
very true. Almost since the very beginning
Hmm.
Yep,
of
and I've been
the
very
first
happy
time.
to. We've been able to get a lot of cool comics out to folks. We're getting even more out as we speak, and it's been a very cool journey. Something I honestly, when you folks found me, I wasn't expecting. I just wanted to make some more black and white line art for my book. When you guys found me, I was like, I'll give it a shot. And no, we were able to get it funny, we were able to get it colored, able to get another issue out, and getting number 3 to folks again as we speak right now. And it's just been a very cool little journey there.
Kind of amazing. Yeah, you are you? Let's see. I mean, obviously, eBay has a bunch of books out, but a lot of those
Yeah.
were out before that you came with us. So in terms of like actual new books, you kind of I think you maybe have the most out of the
I
two
I
right now.
could be with you folks for sure. Um, but yeah, as you said, there's the e-buys up to what volume 5 or something on there.
Yeah,
I'd
all the
definitely
same. Those
check
are
out
issues.
Decimators if you guys want. I think saw a post earlier that numbers 2 through 5
Yes.
are out, and you folks just went to reprint on a bunch of books, so that's really
Exactly.
cool. Reprint and
That's really
first
good.
print, if I'm right, on a public first print.
Yeah, exactly. For me, a big one is Movie Men right now.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
been wanting
stoked
to
for
get that out
that.
to people for a while, so it's finally time. It's gonna have its time
Yeah, no,
now.
I'm excited. I've got a Ironverse Quickies on Movie Men on Ironverse Comics, the
Oh,
YouTube
nice, dude.
channel. If folks want to check that out, see what Movie
That's
Men's
cool.
about. But definitely, I really do recommend Movie Men. It's a fun little self-contained little story with a lot of possibility for growth, and it's my kind of funny book. I like funny books. There's not enough that qualifies that in my eyes out these days.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. And we're joined by another Wicked creator, Scott. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. We're excited to have you, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. What did I walk in? Because we were talking about
Um,
decimators and movie men.
we were catching up on the new print stuff coming out. But speaking of new print stuff, we have Wrath coming imminently. We
Yeah,
had
I
a few
think we're
tweaks
just
we had to make.
waiting on word from the printer, if I
Pretty much,
recall.
yeah. We just we had like I said, we had a few tweaks we had to make, so we had to go back to the printer and hopefully we'll get all that resolved this week and maybe even start shipping, have them shipped out to us this week too. So that would be very exciting.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm waiting to get where Cody's at when we start getting those photos of people's deliveries. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, that goes. It's a little bit of reassurance too, right? You take on this big endeavor, and especially if you're not hand putting them into the mailboxes yourself and stuff. There's this disconnect, and it's good to have that squashed.
Yeah, really.
Well, we're still working out the details. We did some signings on the first chapter. Looks like we might be able to swing that again this time around with vaccinations and stuff going around.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get some more books signed. It looks like for this one. I didn't promise it just going into it not knowing where we were going to be at when the books came in, but it looks like we can do that again.
Cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
that's gonna be exciting, man. It probably should be easier this time too, I think.
Yeah, that was an
Mm.
interesting back and forth, but we got it done because we said we were going to do it. So
Exactly. Um, no, yeah, that's great. And you know, I want to bring up actually. you're not the only one. We had, with the issues in the books, like, excuse me, last I heard from Spork Eric guys, they had to, they had found some margin issues that we didn't catch because I sent them the copy of it. And
Yeah, there's that, and I think there was something about the spine he was saying.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, you would have more of the details, but it definitely needs some tweaking.
Yeah, we're working on that one.
But
well.
that's our MO is we make it the way it's supposed to be instead of shipping out something that's not quite right.
Cody knows all about that, my friend.
I do.
And not
I do
only that,
very,
it's
very
the
much
only
so.
beef.
And even still, there's stumbles that were hit. But nonetheless, you especially in crowdfunded, these creator-owned small press comics, we're all learning constantly. And I think it's a good thing to be able to take these lumps and roll with them, and then just not repeat them. And I think that's just how you do it. I mean, that's one of your first trade paperbacks. I'm assuming certainly might be the first with this printer. And I mean, every business rapport requires especially new ones, requires an adjustment and an understanding to be gained, and that doesn't always happen right off the bat.
True.
And that's one thing I appreciate about you, Cody, is you're kind of like the front rider for the group. Like we all get to kind of ride in the trail that you're already blazing for us.
I'm trying. I'm doing crazy things if I can because it's fun. But at the end of the day, I do it because I need to. so I'm happy. I'm happy to be able to share and grow a wonderful community alongside you folks, and to be able to again just get these stories out that I don't think I could have gotten out anywhere else, and that means a lot to me.
Nice, man. Well, that definitely means a lot to us too. We appreciate it.
I just have to find a place for all these Jack Irons prints I got.
Hey,
well, yeah. I mean, a bunch of 11 by 17s. You got about 5 feet wide of those. So I don't blame you. That's a lot of wall space.
You're gonna make that the Jack wall. It's gonna be all Jack.
I think I'm gonna have 2 on the art wall I have. One's already up, and then I'm probably gonna start a second one in my garage just because I'm running out of space.
Right on. Yeah, no, I'm glad those came out well too. I've been seeing I only got your photo and then one other that contained one of the prints. But I'm glad those came out. That was a new printer for these prints compared to last printing, if folks are unaware. And so that's just another angle I wasn't 100% sure on. But you take the dives and you hope the businesses operate as they should, right?
Well, I took that since yours came out so well. I actually got my prints from the same people, so, and mine are already in. I don't know if you saw the photo for that.
How'd they turn out?
They're pretty good.
Nice, man.
I've shown them off to a couple of people. I can't remember. Maybe I didn't do a tweet with them. So I'll do a tweet with them so you guys can all see them.
Cool.
But I showed them to Emilio, since it was his artwork, and he was stoked. So,
all right.
We got those. We got the stickers. We're just waiting on just the books, and then we'll be delivering.
Hills, yeah. Lots of deliveries going on.
I'm already starting to line up stuff for Chapter 3. So.
Wow.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get that out this year.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it?
And it sounds like already with a lot of the creators under Wikid, there's a lot of progress being done just within pretty much 5 months of the year so far. So that's really good, compared to last year, which was just horrible on all fronts for a lot of people. This just shows that it really can happen.
I think it's a better crowdfunding year for sure.
Oh, no question. I've seen the evidence just all around. from what I've seen, Indiegogo's having a little bit harder time growing new audience with like new comics being released on there. But Kickstarter's been on fire since like the beginning of this year, and I've been so happy to see just new creators coming out of nowhere and being able to fund and then get their work. I'll be happier when I see the works come out, as I always am, but I'm certainly happy when folks get funded. And man, last year, if it wasn't for the ridiculously unlikely funding that we were able to do, I don't know what I would have done with myself last year.
Would have been Jack 3, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. I'm very happy I was able to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Hopefully, that's a good sign, like it's an upwards trajectory, right?
Yep,
We'll
I
be getting
think
back
so.
to conventions
I think
next year, and I'm very excited for conventions to start back up.
Yeah, that was a little micro heartbreak last year, not being able to get that one in October. But it's how it goes, you know. World's gonna be the world.
Definitely have more books to show off, though.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool.
So I did have a question. I don't know if there was kind of an unofficial announcement, but has there been an official announcement about a title that's returned to Wikid?
Matt, what do you think? Are we allowed to say anything yet?
I
think so.
I mean,
yeah, I think so. Why not, right?
I think so.
We are happy and pleased to say that Star Ring will be returning to Wikid Publishing.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, we're very excited to bring her back into the fold, and I believe she's going to be a great part of the back on the team here. So, very very excited to have her on, and for those who don't know, of course, Star Ring is a fantasy manga series that's set in another world, and so yeah, it's a really cool series. And the author, she goes by the pen name Nana. And I believe that's I'm pronouncing that right. So yeah, no, it's she announced it on her Twitter earlier today, so we haven't put out an official announcement yet. But we'll probably be putting that pretty soon this weekend, probably.
Yeah, there was the other one where she was looking for the cover artist, and she name dropped you guys. That's why I said it was unofficially announced.
Right? Yeah. But no, I mean it's cool. You know, we had a great talk just the other day, and I think we're both on the same page, and excited to see what we can do in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she was always a great addition to Wikid. So it's really good to see her come back and be, like Michael said, be part of the fold, so to speak.
I'm excited because I've read the first one, and I'm just excited that the possibility of it being in print again is out there.
Yeah, so far I'm the only one who has a print copy of that book.
Yeah, I think there was just that one proof, right?
You got yourself right there, a real gem, Michael. You might want to hold on to it.
Especially because she's going to change the cover, so I have the only one with that cover. So, yeah. But yeah, I thought it was good to have, more manga. I always wanted to have a diverse range of styles and stuff, so it's good to kind of break out into that again.
Yeah, you definitely have that. I'm not gonna. I mean, from Cody to Star Ring to Project R, and then you've got my weird hybrid thing that I'm doing,
and then Eby's doing his own
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's
even
tons
with
of
Blood
styles.
Ties too, which is a heavy manga influenced style. So I mean, everything is really not necessarily even just diverse in the way it looks, but also in all the different types of stories we have as well. You know, from the weird space western to the fictional horror sci-fi to your normal superhero. All the way to even with Wrath, where it seems like an action drama kind of unfolding itself, or even an action mystery, so to speak.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe we'll find out when I'm done writing it.
Hey,
It's kind of like
sometimes
a
a
supernatural.
story is hard to
Well, that's true.
have a main genre to it. Like with Decimators, at times I want to put horror or like even action sometimes as its main thing, but it's like,
And then
maybe we
humor
can
too.
comedy sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely a comedy. Like he's basically
Exactly.
aiming to get you to laugh with that book. But yeah, he does put his like typical eBay action as well. So
Well, yeah, and then there's even like social. There's even like social commentary with it too.
yeah, I think it's just eBay being eBay.
He can't help
Exactly.
but be social commentary.
I think that's
He's a
how it is
walking
with
social
all of our
commentary.
writers.
Yeah, I could see. They all put a little bit of themselves in it. So I could totally see it.
Yep. I'd say Wrath. I would if I was backed into a corner, I'd say a supernatural coming of age.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to put it. Yeah.
I could see
yeah,
that.
I
I
see
could
that,
very
yeah.
much see that with a little bit of slice of life in it.
Yep.
It's kind of like the shonen to me.
Definitely with issue 2, and I did kind of tease that there was going to be a little bit of that in there. But 3 is going to be interesting.
Yeah, really.
3's the one I think everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think people were pretty surprised by this one. This next one.
Yeah, well, Jeremy's not here, so we can talk about it.
He'll probably
Unless
watch
he's
it.
listening, then
Yeah,
he
really.
might just want to.
Didn't he just have his kid a few days ago?
I
Just
think
today.
it was today. Yeah,
Was it
unless
today?
it came
I
early, but
could've
it was scheduled for today.
On Facebook, it was like yesterday.
No,
Maybe it was.
He was today, man. No, because he had the C-section scheduled for today. That's why he couldn't make it to the podcast.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. We'll move on.
I think you're tripping out, man.
Well,
Possibly.
it's here or there. I mean, based on what he was saying, it could have been any day. So.
No, it was like yesterday because one day ago he was in the recovery room with his kid.
What do you mean?
So it was yesterday.
Congratulations to his kid.
Yeah, congrats.
And Jeremy.
Where are you getting this information from?
Facebook.
Oh, Facebook.
That's why I didn't see it because I haven't been on Facebook.
I don't have him on Facebook. Do you have him on Facebook?
Yeah, yes.
I do. Weird. I think eBay's the only one I have on Facebook.
I do have eBay as well.
Yeah, I have that thing, but that's about as much as I'd say about it.
That's pretty much
it can
how
be
it is
exceedingly
with me.
useful, I'm certain, but I can barely handle one cacophony of people at a time.
It's difficult. I totally get where you're coming from. I kind of dabble because I just don't want to, like, I don't know, just posting and then posting. It just starts getting exhausting, especially when you're spreading it over like multiple platforms.
Oh yes, it
does. To stay in touch with people, but that's about it. Yeah. So, anybody watching any movies or doing anything fun this weekend?
I watched Mortal Kombat yesterday.
Nice. What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
I was mainly signing cards, and then a lot of it was not spoken in English at the beginning, so I didn't see much at the beginning. And then I saw some good gore, and then I saw like a plot thread at the last, I don't know, half hour or something. That was fine. I was pleased by the gore. That's the best I can say about it. But I didn't expect much more either from a Mortal Kombat film. Big fan of the original from like '95, I think it was. Big fan of that.
Yeah.
And then even its sequels, good cheese. Not good cheese. It's cheese. Pure cheese. And so sometimes that can be
American
good.
cheese.
But it itself
American cheese, processed American cheese.
But yeah, I mean, it was better than I expected, I guess, is what I'd say. Some people went in with a lot more hype than I did, and I'm not sure how it fared for them.
Someone nailed it on the head for me for exactly what I felt like. For what it was solid. I mean, there's a little like nitpicky things here and there, but like I would sit down. Yeah, you can see. I would watch it again.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I probably need
Check
to
out
watch
them.
it again myself just to know really
Yeah,
what was
there
happening.
is quite a bit in that first intro that ties into the last half hour that you might want to catch up on.
No, I mean, it's really ham-fisted, that thread. Like, I don't even think I need to see that intro because they restate it. But it's it's about bloodline, and I get that. But it was fine. I kind of wish some of the costumes were closer, but Jax ended up being interesting, and then the whole plot thread of the they're superheroes in this one instead of just really chief focused powerful fighters, sometimes just like a military fighter or just that whole bit. And playing Kano as a protagonist as long as they didn't serve me so well, but it was still fine. Again, the gore was what I needed for a Mortal Kombat film since they wanted to make one.
Yeah,
I was very glad to see fatality, guys' heads explode, and
yep.
A scorpion torch somebody to ash. I needed to see that.
Yeah, that's what you go in to see, and they delivered on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even like the flawless one. That one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah, I heard my friend said it was a pretty funny movie and pretty fun. So I'll check it out.
I mean, it's got the cheesy one-liners. It's got the gore and the fatalities. There's bits of a story. I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't play the later games, but one of the characters, I'm just like, I don't know who this is.
There is that guy. Literally, it was supposed to be the audience insert character, so that you could dump all this exposition to this character, and and he's like the main character. It really that part I wasn't a big fan of either, but it was fine. Again, it didn't like ruin anything. I didn't complain at the lack of Johnny Cage, and they even give you a fucking a tease at the end, which was good. But yeah, Raiden was good. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. It's nothing I would rant and rave about personally, but the fatalities were good. I needed a gory Mortal Kombat movie. I mean, it made no sense that they haven't been gory.
Let me ask you this: is it better than the Paul W.S. Anderson one?
It's better than Annihilation. It's not better to me than the original. I really like that original.
Yeah, like the original had that like Enter the Dragon vibe. And,
yeah.
Like you
and there's no tournament in it, even though there's kind of a tournament. I mean, and they dance around again. They give them superpowers instead of them being really good fighters. They give them, it plays with the Mortal Kombat IP more than the original did. The original actually used the IP.
That's too bad. Yeah.
So I feel like they fleshed out the Sub-Zero Scorpion thing a bit more.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, in the W. Anderson one, here's a blue ninja and here's a yellow ninja. Just accept that.
They're different colors. Now
this one they have plots and stories.
As kids, we kind of did. We were just like, okay.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I didn't need any more. I was that's the blue one. I get it.
I get it. Fire eyes. Yeah, that's cool, man. Oh wait, what to rip his head off and become flame? Okay, that's gnarly.
But maybe we'll get more of that tournament vibe, and if they make another one,
they teased for it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping, especially since it did tease Johnny. So I would like to see their take on him. Because they got so much flack for not having him in it. I want to see how hard they lean into putting him in there, and then everybody hates him. As a lot of people don't like Johnny Cage anyway, so it'll work perfect.
You know what? What would be awesome is if they actually got Jean-Claude Van Damme to play the character that spoofs him.
That would be.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
That would be very interesting. That would be very, very interesting.
That's another good one.
Even the original actor for Johnny Cage too, like they did in the newest Mortal Kombat, where they had the original actors come in to play all the old school, like just for voice lines, real quick.
It was called the game, you mean?
Wait, what? Yeah, for the game, they had the voice actors. You could choose it for who the voice actor is going to be, and one of them that they have, I don't know what DLC it is or when they came out with it, but I watched a few videos of it, and I was like, okay, that right there is pretty good. That right there is a good fan service.
Man, I'm relatively sure those actors probably needed a paycheck at this point too. So that's
Oh yeah, another one was probably like, sure, why not?
yeah.
But I think the
Not cool.
takeaway is that both Cody and I want to see them do another one.
Yeah. I would say that for sure.
Okay, so good enough to come back for more.
Yeah, definitely, and definitely worth the watch. Particularly, you know, if you're into gory martial arts films and you're not going in as like a Mortal Kombat fanboy, I think you'll be good. I think you'll be good for sure. If you're going in as like a Mortal Kombat fan, I saw a lot of like hardcore Mortal Kombat fans who just could not take anything good from it, and that kind of bugged me. I'm not a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan. I've enjoyed the franchise over the years, and again, to me, it's just a gory fighter with some Eastern trappings and some kind of neat iconic characters, right? And I was given a good amount of that in this film. Just how they tried to ground the whole system and how the tournament works and stuff. That one didn't hit me very well, but that's not what I was there for, so I was fine.
Kano had some pretty good one-liners too.
Yeah. The Kano actor, I mean, he hammed it up perfectly. He did his job while he was high. He did great. I just didn't want as much of him as we got.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out.
At least he was Australian too.
I'll watch it tonight on my HBO Max. Not a sponsor, not yet.
That thing is paying off pretty well. You know, it got Kong versus Godzilla, got Mortal Kombat.
You're gonna have Peacemaker next year and the Batman.
Apparently, Adult Swim's merging into it now, and they're gonna be the same thing.
Oh yeah, that's true. They have.
I think it's because of Turner Broadcast Media. They're partnering up or merging. Who knows at this point with HBO.
Yeah, that was it. So, I mean, you'll get a good library there. I mean, I grew up on Adult Swim, and I haven't stopped.
I think we're getting.
I'm a little surprised Paramount's standing up by itself.
Yeah,
I'm a little surprised by that. They're not trying to be part of Universal or. Wait, does Paramount own Universal?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember who owns.
Yeah, I can't tell you either on that end. But yeah, I can't tell. What was their big launch for Paramount? What was their bit?
Paramount?
Yeah.
With the streaming service, it's Paramount Plus, but their biggest launch and like movies, there's a lot of them. They're pretty old themselves.
Well, but but the streaming service itself, right? Isn't they have the stand? They have the car.
Okay.
So yeah, they have a few.
Yeah, because they weren't on my radar. Is all I'm asking. I was trying to jog my memory.
If you're a big fan or have kids of Nickelodeon, who watch a lot of Nickelodeon, that's their.
Oh, that was it. Nickelodeon. Yeah. Okay, that was it.
I think they're doing
a few other things too, like NBC and other stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody's trying to get on the streaming game, man.
Yeah, I just like if they're gonna slug with Disney and slug with Netflix, I knew they had to have something, like you're saying, like standing on their own. That's why I was just trying to trigger that. And that Nickelodeon itself would be enough for me. But they've got
it seems like traditional media is dying in a slow format, possibly like on how the landline is. You know, there's still people with landlines, but it's withering away.
I don't want the theater experience to go away. It's too amazing, you know.
I think it'll always be there. I mean, I mean, we still print books. Everyone thought like, we got digital. You know, like no, people.
I mean, there's people who still to this day still create games for Nintendo Entertainment, the NES.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like that's. Like, wait, what? People still do that?
Bunch of Coleco developers too. Bunch of folks.
It's a good way for people to learn on how to code and do this and that with older machinery because it's a little bit less complex as what we have today. It's
the production
not as
team is
cheap, but it's more
one or two people.
Yeah.
There are
Just
a
in terms-
large amount of people who still do that, but I mean, it's still like, wow, that's crazy.
No, definitely, yeah. Yeah, for real.
But yeah,
Man.
I think we're getting another Matrix movie this year on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Suicide Squad is August, and I
and
actually
John
want
Wick
to see that one.
4.
That looks good.
John Wick
Huh?
4 comes out this year, I think, doesn't it?
Is that on HBO
I
Max?
think
don't
so.
know. I'd have to look. Dune is, I think, October.
I think so. October or November.
Yeah, fall.
You're right. Oh, no, John Wick 4 may have gotten delayed, actually.
I can see it. Keanu's
Yeah.
That's
making
one of
those
those
berserker
things-
bucks.
I could see it too.
Yeah, really.
I will wait for that. Make it good, and I will wait.
That's funny, Cody.
Yeah, berserker bucks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never understood why like so many people back that and like didn't read that they were getting their books after the stores.
I guess they just thought they got caught up in the hype, maybe.
Yeah,
Yep.
I guess. I looked
Possibly.
at it, I'm like, if I want this book, I'm just gonna go get it at the store. Like,
Yeah.
They were too busy being beautiful, guys. That's all.
Reese, what can you
Being
say?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Just looking at Keanu's smile on that book.
Oh man, that's
I gotta take a little swigs here or there, Berserker. It's a very similar concept.
no,
but no,
but
it's a
also
very
similar
cool looking
to
book.
John Wick already.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of already did that, man.
No, my stuff's not like it doesn't
no,
involve
sorry.
an immortal, timeless, immortal warrior. You know.
No. Sorry, I meant not your work. I meant
Yeah.
Berserker's a lot. Like, in my opinion, is a lot like John Wick already.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's like it's a dude who can kill a lot of people. It's
Yeah.
like kind of like John Wick in a way. And it looks.
but does he do it for a dog?
Well, I don't
That's
know.
the
I'm ready.
question.
I'll see if there's a dog in there.
It's a
But
cat
you're
this
right. No,
time,
not
though.
your work. Yeah,
It's a
definitely not. Oh man. But hey, everyone wants to get into the comics game. Literally, everybody's making a comic these days. It feels like
Everybody.
every band, every actor, everybody.
To be honest, that's what I've heard. Even some bands that have never done comics before
Oh
started
hell yeah,
doing
dude!
comics.
It's
A lot of
blowing
them.
up. Yeah.
While
I saw another
Weezer
one
is
the other day.
While Weezer is making a Roomba.
There you go.
What?
See, now that's how you do it.
That's innovative
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
Now the
they
Roomba
actually have,
market,
like,
that's a competitive market.
Smart,
See, I'll put them on there.
man,
they've got
smart.
some spoof commercial where there's like Weezer cleans your house.
Weezer cleans. Weezer revealed their very own Roomba robot vacuum. Oh, that's hilarious.
See, I want a Roomba now.
Yeah, right? Maybe they're onto something there, man.
Yeah.
I think it's like a limit. The bummer thing is I don't think they're rolling out production. It's like a promotional thing where they're only making like 5 and you have to win one.
It's probably a Bluetooth speaker that only plays their music.
I
wouldn't
no,
doubt
thank you. No, thank you.
Which is really annoying because those things are loud enough as it is. But I think one of them was just like, it's like Rivers cleaning your house, only it actually picks up. Like there's like a whole bunch of comments.
That reminds me, KFC had done like a crowd, like a joke crowdfunder for like a bunch of stuff, like a video game console that would warm your chicken, and a hot tub.
Yeah, KFC.
Yeah,
KFC. I've actually looked into it. They've done it.
Well, they didn't do it. They didn't get. I don't think they met their goal. It was too ridiculously high.
Wait, did they do a crowdfunding for it?
Yeah, they did a crowdfunding and for a bunch of other stuff. Like there was a hot tub that looked like a chicken bucket, and there was like 2 or 3 other items, but they were so ridiculously overpriced. By the way, I don't think we've introduced Matt yet. Hey, Matt, are you with us, Matt?
Hey, yes, I am.
There he
Welcome. I realized you're being quiet again, and I hadn't introduced you yet.
Yeah, great job hosting, Michael.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm the best. In the chat, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I heard Xbox is actually making the fridges that look like the Series X.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I actually want one.
The fridge or the Series X?
Well, I have actually. I have to admit, I do have a Series X already.
Oh, nice.
Yes, thank you. I'm one of the dirty dogs who caved to those evil scalpers.
And that, to be honest, there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. There's nothing wrong with getting something that you want.
I
But
paid a little bit overpriced for it.
To be honest,
but,
at least having a fridge that looks like an Xbox Series
no, it's not
X
a
is a
fridge.
little
I
bit
must-
better than an actual console that is also a 6-pack of beer that is
Right.
actually a 4-pack.
or a console that cooks
Bud
your chicken.
Light
I don't know
has
about that
made an
either.
actual like couch console to where it's projector
Oh, that's right.
and
It's
the
gonna
console,
don't
and
you think only cool one beer though at a
cools 4
time?
beers all
Oh,
at
4
once, and
beers.
it's
Okay,
like,
well that's a little better. That's not bad.
and it's like, come on, guys,
It's like I got a fridge. I could just
please
walk
tell
over
me
to my
these are
fridge.
jokes.
But what was I saying? Does anyone remember what I was saying by any chance?
Nope.
Scott, you had brought it up.
Series X?
Oh yeah, Series X. Yeah. Because I tried to buy PS5. I was at the doctor's office like about a month ago, and Walmart was like, at noon, we're putting new consoles online. I was like, oh my god, I got to try for it. I tried for like about 20 minutes, but it kept going, pushing it back, and eventually it was just out of stock. I was like, yeah, it's been like a year now, and we still can't get consoles. They're still not available.
That's about 6 months. I think
6 months isn't
fall,
okay. Still pretty
fall
bad,
will be a
man.
year. That's normal.
It's normal, but no, I don't know. It's like I don't know. It feels like they should be able to figure out how to stop that. Like in the shoe industry, they figure out how to curb the bots from buying up all the product, because they put the time and the energy and the money into it.
It depends on. Well, that's the thing is it depends on the store. Like I heard Best Buy actually has a pretty good anti-bot program.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Interesting.
I can kind of see that. And not only that, I mean, if they wanted, they could always limit the online sales. Like there's only 10,000 of these for online sale, and then the rest are being put in stores.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would have to go and pick it up at the store for you to purchase it. You know, that's the whole thing. If you want to buy online, you have to go to the store. And if you don't have the capability, then maybe Instacart. There needs to be like some kind of paper trail at that point.
Someone
That's the only
suggested
thing I
that they
can
should
think
have
of.
been putting future consoles for up. Like, let's say you can pick a day. Like, okay, on June 6th, more consoles will be available, and you can sign up in advance and get yours claimed. Like, and in some way to do like that, at least give people the opportunity to get it. I just feels like there should be a better way to do that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to be honest, this sounds like somebody just needs to make a new style of GameStop and actually be good for the customers rather than extremely bad for them. I mean, that would always work. If you just are there for your customers, the customers will come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it may take
they
a
will
moment,
come.
but they will. It's how it works, you know. If you're actually there for the passion, people will see it and actually go in there.
Mm-hmm.
If you give them a good deal, they'll be like, you know what? I'm coming fucking back. I'm coming back here, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen that TikTok video where the guy's at IKEA?
Dude, I've been watching that like 2 or 3 times over the last couple of days, dude.
I have not
pretty
seen
funny.
it.
God. Oh, you don't want to shop here anymore? Okay, don't. I don't want anyone like you here. He goes. He has this whole bit where he asks a question like as a customer saying like complaining, and then he'll like turn the camera on and like go like, oh no, you were wrong. We actually don't need you, or this was. It's so
Yeah, it's
fucking
like,
hilarious. You guys gotta watch
oh,
it,
you
dude.
don't. I think what's the first one's like, I don't want to shop here anymore. Good. You think I own IKEA? I've been putting I'm 1 week into a 2 weeks notice. I don't care.
I'm just a part-time employee. Do you know how much money I spend here? Way too much. You're spending way too much on these meatballs. They're not that good.
What was the other one's like? I'm gonna tell all my friends not to shop here. Good. I don't want more of you running around my store.
Damn. I know those
brutal.
goddamn feelings, man. Fucking
Yeah,
working in
that was
retail.
hilarious,
Yeah, I know
dude.
that.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've almost blown up on a customer a few times.
It was like the reason I saw it posted again is because someone posted it under this video of this dude who was like, these people were like, we've been outside waiting for our hamburger for 30 minutes. He's like, we want free food. And he's like, you want me to give you this food for free? Ha ha ha! Oh, that's funny. No, you collect it. Here you go. Take it. And it's like this whole thing. I was like, oh my god, dude. Oh man, the internet. What a great place.
My favorite one of his rants is when the person asks, like, I know the sale ended last week, but can I get the discount still?
Nah.
And then he's like, if you want that price, you're going to have to go through the quantum zone with Ant-Man.
Yeah, that shit was good. It was pretty fucking fun, dude. Oh man. Speaking of Ant-Man and the Quantum Realm, does anyone finish watching Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah,
Nope.
Finished it.
Nice, man. I won't spoil anything, but I was very pleased with the ending.
I liked the ending. I don't know, just kind of dragged for me a little bit.
Did it? The fight, you mean?
No, just like the whole series. Like,
Really?
Like-
Oh, interesting.
like Dr. Zemo was like good, but there's just parts where I'm just like, I just don't really care what's happening.
Interesting. Okay. No, that's fair.
Like I guess what it is like with WandaVision, there was this lot of like mystery of like what's really going on. There was something that hooked me. With this one, there was just kind of like I kind of know what's already going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair, man.
Yeah,
No,
I couldn't get into WandaVision, and I just had very little interest in Falcon and Winter Soldier just overall. So I just have not really had an interest there. I've been enjoying Invincible quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That I've been enjoying quite a lot. I have to have a couple beers here and there just because of how much it wallows. But
I don't know.
It's still
I
really
don't know if I want to watch it anymore.
What?
I kind of know. I got spoiled for me, so I'm not sure if I really want to watch it anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure. It doesn't matter if it's spoiled to me or not. I'm kind of curious. What Kirkman does is he has about 50 fucking plot threads he wants to shove into a small little fucking story, and then he'll let them run. He does that with almost everything that he puts out. So I'm kind of used to there being, the presentation, and that's what people go for. And there's like maybe 10 of those I actually like in Invincible, and that's enough as long as it doesn't continue to overly wallow. And so far, it's been doing okay with the balance, and it's good enough. The gore's nice and refreshing again, and the acting's good. The voice acting's really good, and the soundtrack's killer. So it's again, at worst, it's good background while I'm doing something else.
What was it? They have Seth Rogen as that space alien guy, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. He shows up, he has the wrong planet.
Yeah, I think that was how it was in the comic, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read the comics either, and so that probably helps. I watched a bunch of Walking Dead, right, and then I started the Walking Dead comics, and man, he's so much breezier in the comics. So I'm assuming Invincible probably is way better paced as well. That would be my guess, unless it took the opposite approach of The Walking Dead. Because The Walking Dead, you're through like the first 3 seasons in the first volume of Walking Dead. There's a lot less, basically not wasted space, but overused space.
Interesting.
But out of the Image folks currently too, I respect what Kirkman's been able to accomplish quite a bit. Yeah.
I guess I wanted more of an anime style, and which I know is unreasonable coming from since it's an American comic.
Well, the other reason too is that it is based on a comic book, so you want the animation to reflect the actual comic art as well. I mean, like if you had something that looked way off base, it can be a little bit off.
But even the art could have matched, and the animation could have been more, Eastern. It definitely has the American animation style to me.
Oh yeah, it looks like a Warner Brothers DC animated film. There's no question. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those animation studios that have been doing.
Which is nothing wrong with it. They look great. I just need to adjust. I think I just need to adjust to my expectations.
I think you've been watching too much anime.
I think I have to.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me. I grew up on Batman and Superman and Justice League, so I'm so used to that. and all the animated.
I would say the Bruce Timm style too. They don't really engage much anymore. Like that's why I grew up too. They do this. It's not quite anime. It imitates anime, and I can see how that would offend. Not offend, but not. If you're an anime fan, you expect better. I've been reading Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud, right? And he mentions this, and I never really had it pointed out how manga, the Eastern path of doing sequential art, eventually found this wonderful tool of re-injecting realism into their cartooniness, and to change a focal point or to change a idea. Whereas in the Western medium, we tend to only do that in the background, and that our characters, and including in anime quite a bit and manga quite a bit, they'll do more cartoony so that we can place ourselves into the characters, and then they'll do more realistic when there's an outside threat or something that an idea changed. He gave an example of like a sword could be wielded by the main character, and while he's wielding it and using it, it's kind of fluid and loose, but then like maybe a new etching or something glows on the sword later, and then they'll look down at it and it'll be hyper realistic. Now it's this foreign bit, and so I've seen that in anime as well, and I've seen that you'll get that a lot with comedy, with gag manga and with like gag anime too, where suddenly a face will be hyper detailed and realistic and such, so it pulls you in and keeps you outside of that character, so you're looking at it from that perspective instead of being in the world. It's a trip. I do recommend that read, but that's something I could kind of see with this Western stuff. It's all the same. It's all that cartoony bit, as what he refers to it in the book anyway. Cartoony. It's a simplification of lines. Doesn't mean it's hyper exaggerated by nature. It just means it's talks about a circle, two eyes, and a curved line inside of it is about as cartoony of a face as you can get, and it really allows anybody to put themselves into it. That kind of thing. But there's a lot of good stuff. I haven't found a new anime recently to sink my teeth into that the nothing stood out. So Invincible has been all right in terms of a new kind of hyper violent kind of, again, it's got a little bit of shonen in it because it's also a coming of age and gaining powers and stuff. I'm used to that. I needed another one of those journeys.
Nice, man. Yeah, those
Have you seen Jujutsu Kaisen yet?
Matt's been trying to get me to watch that one, man, for the last couple of days. Same with my friend Zach. Or no, maybe it was Zach who was trying to get me to watch it. Maybe actually both. I think you both were actually. Yeah. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's very good.
Yeah, that's been like my new one that I got into. Nick Mueller, the guy who did Demon Hunter Raven, like was posting about it. I'm like, I need to check this out. And it's kind of interesting for me because it focuses around curse energy, and the way they describe it kind of matches a little bit of what I'm doing with Wrath.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I can totally see that. Yeah, and it's kind of got a slice of life like Wrath does too, a bit, Yeah,
a little bit, and just like the way like certain things develop and store like negative energy is like kind of a theme that I'm playing with, and they have like a little cultural take on it, so it's a little bit different than what I'm doing. But yeah, it definitely like hooked me on that.
Now, is it like a show that like you have to watch 3 episodes to get hooked on?
It does a pretty good job of grabbing your attention in the first one, especially if you want like a lot of action, violence. There's a lot of. I
watched it for like 10 minutes, and I had something to do, so I was like, I'll come back to this. But it felt to me like a slow start.
A little bit, but in the first episode, by the end of the first episode, you're getting into stuff.
Okay, I'll have to watch it again. I need to stop getting bored in the first 10 minutes of stuff.
You just gotta have that patience, man. Gotta have that patience.
It's hard for me to have patience with new stuff like that.
Saying you can't get into stuff within 10 minutes, you're kind of moving on. This is coming from you who watched Toonami for a while to watch Naruto, and that to me is like so hard to do. I would not have the patience for that anymore. For anything of the show. It's like,
because
I'll just wait. I'll wait a little bit, and then I'll like just binge watch a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't tend to binge watch all this stuff. What about you guys? Do you guys Are you guys binge watchers, or are you guys single episode watchers a week, or what are you guys? We lost
It
someone.
depends. Yeah, we did lose Scott. It depends on what it is and how it's released. If it's really good and it's released binge watchable, I'll binge watch it. If it's not very good and it was released bingeable, I probably won't watch it at all.
That is understandable. I mean, for me, it's more of I let hype die down before I form an opinion of anything, and then I'll just go ahead and wait a good amount of time and then watch it or do anything with it at that point, because it's kind of like I would rather not waste my time getting so hyped up watching it, playing it. It's like probably should have waited some time for this.
You're like that. Those people who ruined Days Gone, man. You totally ruined Days Gone because you didn't buy it full price, man.
No.
Those people.
In my opinion, to me, with game developers, if you're coming out with a half-ass game that's undeveloped or underdeveloped, you should have just waited more time and came out with a better game. I mean,
yeah, tell that to
be
the
honest, No
holding
Man's Sky
company
is
and
the
the
only redemption
shareholders.
story that I can really think
yeah.
of.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
It's the money, man. It's always the money. It's where the funding's coming from to
and
manifest things, and that's
it's
the
like-
problem. Always the problem.
But
Something's got to
like,
come
you
out
can
because they
look
got to
at-
make this number, or else the CEO doesn't get his big old bonus. You know, it's
definitely.
disgusting. It's awful. But yeah, it would be
Definitely.
great if developers actually had the power to make those decisions. Like indie developers, they always try and wait. There's not going to be this massive freaking release, but it's going to be a complete release, right?
Yeah.
Because they have that power. But once you get into any space, movies, anything where there's a lot of money involved, it's not in the creator's hands at the end of the day. And it's sad to see, but it's I can't. It's very rare. I'm sure there's a few examples where that's very wrong, but it's definitely not the major case.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like that's why I say the only like redemption story of something like that I can really think of that came out really great is honestly No Man's Sky, and they are an indie developer.
Yep. Exactly, and they tried to rush to make a bunch of money off of their hype, and they found that was wrong. But they made enough money to sit down and do the work. So I mean, that's impressive.
It's a good
good
game.
on them for doing that.
It is really fun. I mean, yeah, sure, I bought it for $30, but I mean, I'm so glad I waited a good moment, because if I had played it like my roommate did, I would never play it again. But he replayed it a while ago. And he's like, dude, there's so much more. It's 1,000 times more the game that it used to be. I was like, really? Are you sure? And he's like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. And he even told me he was playing for months and months before even we moved out or he moved out. And now he sometimes plays with his VR. He'll go and do a bunch of things. And I'm like, all right, maybe I got to check this game out. And then I finally bought it. And now I'm kind of hooked on it for a bit.
The sad part is that there's a good majority of people who are just not even going to give it a try now. They're like, oh, no, I wasn't good at launch, so I'm not even going to really look at it anymore.
Exactly. I mean, but it is one of those games that if you've been thinking about giving it a second shot or giving it a second look, definitely do it.
Yeah, I heard they finally incorporated multiplayer aspects that they had always promised at start.
Yes, and people can actually join your single player if you invite them or something like that. Like me just playing as a newbie, it's been so much fun just going out exploring.
I'm still waiting on Star dude.
Huh?
Right, Matt?
God. They're gonna milk that one forever, man. As soon as they start throwing up basically NFTs but worse for $12,000, yeah, I'm out. But you could hope. But that's one where I'm just like, yeah, they found a milking machine and they got a couple big fish on it that they are happy to live off of.
Yeah, it's kind of like how not to a certain extent, not quite as bad, but I kind of view the way that Valve has created Steam in that way. Yep. That they don't have any incentive to create video games anymore.
No, just angry fans that are like, why aren't you making amazing games anymore? Because we don't make money with amazing games. We make money selling other people's shit games.
It's like, but we like good games. We don't like shit games.
Okay, here's a VR title.
Yay, you're
Now shut up.
I will say, a lot of Valve's new games have always been very innovative for whatever they've done. You know, like when Half-Life came out, extremely innovative game with physics and everything. And then even Left 4 Dead, its AI system for the zombies was revolutionary for just AI systems.
Come on, Portal. Like,
Portal, I mean, perfect physics game.
Yeah, they stumbled with that fucking card game, though. I forgot what that was called. They were jumping on the bandwagon of everybody else, and it's like, okay, we'll make a game. We'll make this because they make money. Yeah, nobody wants that. Everybody
exactly. It's when they're passionate about what they're doing that everybody's like, okay, this is great.
Yeah, and then they did Half-Life Alex.
Half-Life, they're like, okay, we got to give them a fourth game. But it's not going to be Half-Life 3.
It's not a true finale. It doesn't finish the story.
Yeah, they want to keep that fish on the hook until they need it, and I don't know if they'll ever need it. I mean, Epic came out swinging with China Bucks and Fortnite, for God's sakes, and they still haven't taken down Steam. So I don't even think they're close to competitive level almost. Just because of Fortnite being free is why people have Epic, I think, and the free games. If I remember right, actually, what I think Epic had to file for some kind of financial assistance during the fucking pandemic because of the amount of the free games. But I could be wrong there. I just remember seeing an article about them losing money on the storefront.
I was supposed to. Oh fuck. Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, no worries.
I saw. Wes is in the chat here. I think he just got home.
All right.
Join us here in a little bit. My bad. I didn't mean to just blurt out in the middle of your story there.
Oh, it's not a big. It wasn't a big one. It might not even be true. So that's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, I might need to pop out and give Matt a chance to chat. I gotta go around and water the trees and stuff before it gets dark and all that.
Podcast, man. It's been honestly so much fun to have you with us over the 5 years.
Well,
yeah, have a great one, Cody.
Yeah, you folks take care. Thank you so much. Congratulations. I'm excited to see more books coming out here. It's going to be a fun summer for Wikid.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, really, dude. Well, awesome, man. You enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you later.
I will. You folks take care.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, good to talk to you, Matt. You take care.
You too.
And then there were 3. My favorite quote of all. I think I say it every time we are on the podcast.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a catchphrase or a trope.
Yeah, really. I noticed you're oddly quiet during the MCU talk. I know you're the biggest fan of the MCU. Why don't you go on and tell us how much of a fan you are? Just go on and on about it.
I have not seen a single MCU movie since Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that's the last one you didn't like that one, and you stopped after that.
It killed me.
You know, I watched Infinity Wars, and then I haven't seen any other thing.
I get why people
except for WandaVision, because my
I get why people drop off after Endgame. You know, like I get why it's a good conclusion for most people. But what I like is that to me, there's no one else doing serialized storytelling on the same scale in movies that they are. Like I love that kind of stuff, and it's just so cool to see plot threads develop over years and years and now over a decade. Like I just find that so fascinating. Like we have other, franchises that try to do that, but none have done it quite as successfully. So I don't know. Even that alone is fascinating to me.
And that's understandable. I think that's why a lot of people really like the Fast and Furious still, is that they're
exactly. That's
trying to create this great timeline. And the same thing with the Saw franchise too.
And,
so I mean,
Monsterverse,
I kind of get it. It's just, to me, it's don't drag on your story. It's have an actual finalized conclusion and stick to it.
That's fair, man. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah. Hey, Wes, how's it going?
Rumors of my death are grossly exaggerated, but I'm alive.
Thank God.
But
thanks for joining us on this Wikid 5th anniversary.
No, 5 years.
Pretty amazing. But yeah, I know it's awesome, man. Thank you again for joining us.
Nah, it's all right, man. I was out with the girlfriend. We went up to Spencer Gorge and just went for a large ass hike through the waterfalls and stuff like that. Just kind of get out and about.
Nice, dude. That's cool. It sounds like it was a good time.
Well, basically, considering Ontario is still locked down. Thanks, Doug. We said
Doug Benson. What did Doug Benson do to you guys?
Doug Ford. He's our
Oh,
premier. That's, I guess, the American equivalent of a governor.
okay.
He's an asshole in short.
I thought all Canadians were nice, dude.
You're cute, kid. Okay. No, we decided to basically stick a thumb in his eye and said, screw it, we're going out hiking with blackjack and hookers. So,
oh gosh, that sounds fun.
And so I just got back for 5 years, and I saw actually for 5 minutes you had Tristan from Internet's Newsstand in the chat, and
yes,
although I don't know if she buggered off or not, probably,
possibly.
yeah, possibly. That's a shame. I was like,
yeah, it was just after 420, so it could be that she was gonna have to get high real quick there. So who knows?
Yo, yeah, she's got all of us combined, so it's like she lowers herself to our level.
Yes, that's right.
Jokes aside, so you guys still have to mail out issue 1 to the general populace, as I'm not.
So we've started the process, and so hopefully we're using media mail, so hopefully backers should start to see their books arriving here any day now.
Oh, good. I hope so,
yeah.
Because I'll have to put up a notification then, because as for the sub materials, which I know some of you guys are still getting, they're actually on order right now. They're just currently waiting to get to my house. But considering Canada Post has decided to, we're going to shut half the friggin' place down because one of our guys was an asshole and he got the coof. And I was like, and so it's, unfortunately, yes, things are coming. If you want news, they're on their way. But Canada Post has decided, screw you! And I'm like,
yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah, Canada Post. It seems like they've increased the prices too.
They have. Everything's gone up. I mean, if you would know anything about Canadian taxes, Trudeau has found a new way to screw us over.
Fun. Now I have to ask you, as a Canadian, do you approve of South Park's view on Canada?
Honestly, they're not wrong. Is that a moose? Could be a deer though. Wait, yeah. Fucking A.
That's hilarious.
Honestly, though, the only 2 places in Canada you're ever going to find people have the stereotypical Canadian accent, unironically, is in the prairies and out east.
Really? Interesting.
More or less, it's like, more or less, because here in Toronto, we basically talk like New Yorkers. We're pieces of shit. Yeah. Well, pieces of shit through and through. I mean, we're actually probably 10 times as woke as the people in New York, so that's kind of a tragedy. But we talk more or less standard Eastern Seaboard. We just turn the Canadian accent on like to make fun of the fact that we're Canadian. Although I didn't realize there's a funny story. You don't realize how Canadian you are until you try to cross the border in Detroit. Funny story.
Yeah, but that's a bit just striking.
Oh no, there's a story behind that. 2015. I went to California for a Star Wars celebration. Now, this is before we knew the horrors of Kathleen Kennedy and the sequel trilogy, okay? So this would have been before all that. So I was still a hardcore Star Wars fan. We all go hang out. But I had to shuttle from Toronto to Detroit because it actually was cheaper to fly out of Detroit than it was to actually fly through customs out of Toronto. Go figure, right? And yes, Canada's shipping fees are monstrous. But what happened was we crossed the friggin' border, and 2 things happened. The first thing was that I swear to you, someone took a chroma filter to life, because when you're going over the bridge, you have on the left side, on the south side, you have the steel and glass of downtown Detroit, that front veneer facing, and then you cross the border across the bridge, and you have Windsor, Ontario, and what's funny is that Windsor, Ontario, the facing the American border is a bunch of older, kind of somewhat in need of repair buildings. However, here's where it gets strange. It's like someone sucked all the color out of the clean steel and glass of Detroit, of the downtown Detroit at least, the facing, and put it all in Canada. Because I swear to you, the second you go past downtown Detroit's steel and glass veneer facing, it looks like Superman and Doomsday had a fight there. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. And then I get... But I was kind of scared kind of driving through there. But I finally get to the airport, and I had to go through all the process and all that stuff. And this is when I realized how bloody friggin' Canadian I was. I'm trying to get through. I got my luggage with me, most of it. I got my carry-on with me, and my carry-on's like stuffed to the nines. And so I freaking get it through. It's on my back. I spin through, and I thought I clipped this guy square in the face, right? And it's like, and I went, oh, sorry. And then he freaking turns around. He turns around. It turns out he's literally 14 feet in the opposite direction.
Whoa.
It was so bad. It was like I didn't even hit him at all. And I'm stood up, and then I looked and I went, Matt, or sorry, Wes, sorry, Sacred Identities. You just apologized for nothing. How Canadian can you get?
Jesus, dude.
It was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen. It was so goofy. So yeah, it's not like we will apologize to we'll apologize to Americans. We'll apologize on behalf of Canada. We'll apologize for basically nothing. But within Canada, we all try to kill each other. Mind you, and your prime minister is just no. You figure that out.
It's just like a look of kindness on the outside, but deep down you're boiling with fury.
Well, yeah. Half the country is. The other half is trying to kill each other through cancel culture because you realize, especially in the major cities, how unbearably woke this place is.
Huh, really? I would not have guessed that, honestly.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. But the thing is, Toronto doesn't have an electoral college. Canada doesn't have an electoral college. We actually basically, it's more or less the glorified popular vote. If you have the most ridings at the end, you win, more or less. So example, imagine if every county, they collect, instead of the electoral college, you counted every county as a seat, right? Now, if you had done that, Trump probably would have won, but it's called first past the post. And putting it simply, that's how Trudeau wins. He only wins because Toronto has more ridings than every other region. So it's like Toronto basically voted him in, and that was it.
Oh, interesting.
Which is complete bullshit. And it's like Toronto is unbelievably woke, and they're like, I'm actually surprised that there are actual anti-lockdown protests of any kind, and that they're growing in number in downtown Toronto because of how woke this area is. It's actually kind of scary to be someone like normal.
Speaking of woke, we have the wokest dude in the entire planet with us, Ibai Canales. Welcome. So woke. No, just kidding.
I'm just going to say that I'm so woke that I'm completely pro lockdowns. I think lockdowns work. I think masks not only work, you should wear like 4 masks.
Sorry about that, Eva. I misspoke. You're not woke. You're awoke. You just woke up from a siesta, of course. So.
I have awoken. Yeah.
What did he follow Doomcock with a donkey and a bottle of tequila down to 2
I think so. That sounds about right.
I actually emailed him to see if I could join one of his tequila parties, but he said, "No, I'm not Mexican enough. I'm too European for that."
Yes. Wrong kind of Spanish. Yes.
Wrong kind of Spanish.
Yeah, I even grew a mustache, and tried to make the Mexican acento, señor, Mexican acento. It didn't work.
You should have worn the poncho there, ese.
It's kind of, I feel in my head, I almost imagine it's like a Scooby-Doo situation where like they rip off your mask and it's like, oh my god, it's Ibai Canales underneath.
It was Canales all along.
It was Canales all along. I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you and your damn dog.
And of course, you just know a Latino's coming around and going, "Hey, that's offensive to my culture. How do you figure?"
I like to troll everyone because I actually have, I'm Basque, so we have a really big culture of our own. We're like closer to the Irish, so I like to confuse racists with my cultural references. Like I begin talking about bagpipes and accents and whatnot, and like, but are you not Mexican? I accent you racist shit.
No, I'm actually my family is actually Irish, but actually, if anyone knows who my secret identity is, although I kind of loosely gave it away, I'm actually distantly related to the guy who discovered Antarctica, Ernest Shackleton.
Oh shit!
Interesting. Oh, yeah.
Is it true that there's like a tunnel that leads to the underworld, and it's
called the Hollow Earth?
Yeah, it's populated by lizard people.
I believe so. And I think Kong's down there too, maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, that would explain where they're hiding all the bodies.
We'll have to chart an expedition, the Wikid expedition.
Yeah, we
got
should-
to explore.
We should. Oh, you kicked him. Oh,
Ah,
poor man.
that's,
He
No,
was
he's
being
back.
mad. I had to
No,
kick him out.
no, he's
thought
back.
They will let.
And we're
Oh,
all
he's-
we're all just screwing around at this point.
Oh, he's going robot. He's
Oh,
going
no.
robot on us, guys. Ebi.
Who? Me?
Yeah, I don't know. You cut out there for a minute. What were you saying?
Let me try again.
I think he was trying to say he knows where Jimmy Hoff is buried.
And it's in the Hollow Earth?
Definitely.
Okay,
not.
good,
just
good,
interesting.
good.
Dude,
Well,
but-
no, I mean, hey, man, it's again, just to say thank you for joining us, Matt, or Ebi. We appreciate it. And it's just really good to have you with us on this 5th anniversary.
It's a pleasure to be here. I hope you guys can
Alrighty.
hear me.
Although it looks like only the three of us are chatting. The other two are kind of awkwardly silent, like, "Oh shit."
Come on, guys. We're not. The water's fine. Dip a toe in.
Okay, the fact that you sound like one of my closest buddies who we were hanging out with earlier today is just that was
I
kind
think you
of
said that before. I think you said that before, maybe. I feel like you said I sounded like one of your friends before. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, you totally just did that. The wow.
that's funny. I think I got that one from Matt B. I stole that from.
Yes. I gotta replace the battery in this son of a bitch. Okay. So what is everyone up to? I mean,
Yeah,
money tight for a lot of us, but I know most of you guys are Americans, so you're opening up. So lucky you, bastards.
Well, I'm. I don't know if you guys are big fans of Mystery Science Theater 3000, but I just backed that their new Kickstarter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that should be
I
fun.
haven't backed any Kickstarters in so long. I gotta feel bad about that. Oh, there goes Canales. Oh no.
Man, we're going through some technical difficulties. I'm sure he'll jump back in here in a minute. Oh, there he is.
Good, buddy, folks. We're still in the air. All 2 people watching.
Musical chairs.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear it.
We can
Okay,
hear you.
apologies. It's my shitty internet connection. You guys know that we're all locked up at home when the sun goes down. So
It's kind of
there
like,
he goes.
if
Oh,
I
yeah,
understand
you guys
it,
can go back.
it's a bit of a day to night situation there. A lot of vampires, a lot of blood stuffing going on.
Apparently.
That's the reason why they look us up at home at night.
Go with the vampires, of course. Yeah.
The virus is
Ontario,
created vampire.
I mean, Ontario is in Quebec. Quebec is actually doing a curfew, which is like ridiculous. Like it's like COVID totally knows when you're freaking, it's like
Yep.
totally. It's like, guys, I don't think they realize that broad daylight, ultraviolet rays, studies have come out. Ultraviolet rays neutralize COVID, as does the vitamin D in your system. And yet, apparently, in everywhere except Canada, it's actually doctors are prescribing it to people and zinc, and that actually boosts your immune system by up to 60+% or something like that. And you guys are getting ivermectin, your therapeutics. What is Canada getting? Oh yeah, hand-me-down vaccines that might cause blood clots over here, and we're still locking you down. You still have to wear a mask. Well, thanks, assholes. And it's like, and this is the reason why we have third waves, and they're blaming all of us for it. It's like, no, that's your government incompetence. Ugh, I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of being stuck in here. I'm sick of being broke. I'm sick of my job constantly going up and fucking down, so I can't get money to publish my second book.
Welcome to America.
Want to,
Where
but
the land is green and the water is
Problem,
blue.
lockdown.
how much you need to legally emigrate from Canada to the United States?
2 loonies and 10 toonies.
You wish. It's $100,000.
Oh,
Ooh.
ouch! Yikes!
I would love to come
How
down.
much
to
do you
America.
think it would be for you, Ebi? Like realistically, just ballparking it to move to America.
Well, see, I don't know. I've actually talked to friends, and they say that they can sponsor me. Like it's easier
wow.
to emigrate if like
That'd be
someone
pretty
backs
easy,
you
wouldn't
up.
But without a sponsor, it legally, because you need to be able to give back to the American economy. As such, you need, legally speaking, you would need roughly the equivalent of $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
with Biden in power, I mean, it's going to be much more like than that. But it's going to go Venezuela. You're going to have to pay
But,
$1,000 for a loaf of bread. So
but Biden's not in power. He's a fucking puppet.
yeah, you know what I mean. I mean,
Let's
the
not
cabal.
get into that. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's
not
not
talk
talk politics on
Yeah,
this
no, I'm
auspicious
sorry.
day of great occasion.
Indeed.
I'm sorry.
Do
Just
it!
saying.
Zen Rider, Tokito Ocha. Kamen Rider, Kyo. Dekido Armor.
I need subtitles. I think I turned on the wrong language track.
Right.
Help me get
I
back on.
totally just screwed you guys up so hard. I love it.
I did take a year of Japanese in high school though, so
Well,
you think I'd be able to retain some.
It helps to make it easy for you. The word iwai is literal translation is rejoice.
Ah, okay. Well, at least I got one there now. No, I would love to I want to go like kind of, I guess, piggybacking on your topic, just in terms of just travel. I want to go back to, like you said, I want to go back to traveling. Like I'd love to go back to Japan one day, man. I was lucky enough to go there a couple of years ago. I had my grandmother left me a bunch of bonds before she passed away.
Okay.
And so I had all this money and went to Japan with it. It's freaking awesome, man.
The place I want, actually, the first stop I want to make, this is going to sound silly because most people don't, well, actually, a lot of people know, as a matter of fact, but I'm actually a tried and true Harry Potter fan. And I still am to this day, despite all the J.K. Rowling shit and all the other stuff. And whatever you want to do, I don't give a crap. But I haven't, in all the years since it's been open, I have yet to actually visit the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Florida.
Ah, yeah, that actually would be fun. I just have not gone to that yet either. I want to get some freaking, what do they call it, butterbeer or whatever? Or
the butterbeers. They also sell fire whiskey and lagers at the pub. So it's like it's a full-on pub, and like I've seen so much stuff about it. It's like why have I not been there in the 11 years since it's been open? I have no clue. But I am a bad Potter fan for not doing that. And it's like, you know what? I did find it great though. It actually is a great time to be a Harry Potter fan, not just because of Hogwarts Legacy and all that stuff, because it used to be a bastion. It's practically, I mean, running joke was it was the only book SJW's read for decades, right? That was the joke, right? And now they all think J.K. Rowling's a transphobe, so they're all running as far away from it as they can. And it's like, well, it's like you guys are here. I'm gonna grab a stogie here and enjoy myself. You can have Star Wars. I got Harry Potter. I'm good.
Absolutely. I've given up trying to save mainstream pop culture. I mean,
yeah, so it's like,
they can have it.
They ran away from Harry Potter, so I'm like, okay, well, if you're running away from that, I'm going to take it back and
you're going to run towards.
Yeah, and it's like it's the opposite direction. And what's funny about it is that oh crap, I was going somewhere with that and I totally freaking brain farted.
Oh god,
damn it!
Me, dude.
Yeah, but it was like honestly, they're all talking about it's like, oh, we have to get rid of Johnny Depp because he's a wife beater. Oh, we got to get rid of J.K. Rowling, she's a transphobe. Oh, we got to get rid of that one guy in the Hogwarts Legacy because he posted anti-SJW content. Guys, Harry Potter predicted you guys, predicted SJWs, predicted the lockdowns, predicted your culture in the form of Rita Skeeter, in the form of go read Order of the Phoenix through to Deathly Hallows all over again. But this time, think of it with the lens of 2020 and 2021. Your brain's gonna be like, oh my God. Like all the shit that that's in these books, you're like, then the movies will never touch them because there's a lot of stuff that's cut out from the movies. But the idea of censorship, lockdowns, asking secret, like doing protocols, like asking secret questions, or do you know is this person a Death Eater? You need to be safe. It's for your own protection. All this other friggin' or and governments being infiltrated by like secret forces. You're like God and all the people speaking the truth have to go underground.
I don't fuck with Harry Potter though.
Huh?
I'll tell you the reason I don't fuck with Harry Potter. Is she comes back with this revisionist bullshit, and she's like, "Oh yeah, wizards they don't poop; they just magic their poop away." I'm like,
well, that was actually that was
you.
Well, no, they had plumbing. They had internal plumbing. They had internal plumbing.
That's where I was like, I'm clocking out here.
But actually,
I don't do revisionist history. Sorry, buddy.
Anyone who's read a history textbook knows
that ain't my style.
Well, anyone who knows a history textbook knows that before internal plumbing, like taking a dump was a thing. Like in a public bathroom, it was actually common parlance. It's like example in in Versailles, the Palace of Versailles, King Louis. They had all that perfume because literally they would go and take a dump in the hallway.
This is magic, yo.
Yeah,
this is fucking magic. We don't even need to talk about that. Why should you bring that up, dude? It's
because people.
I don't know. I think it's stupid. Well, she's weird.
That's Pottermore. That came out years after the fact.
I like to talk about shit.
Weird.
I know, right? Because honestly, people are weird, and these people who.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. I think I just don't respect her for going back and retconning her book. Like, dude, stick to what you said, dude.
Well, that was the issue. She and that was the reason I started getting more respect for her as this transphobe thing came out, and here's why. because for years she kept going back and bending the knee, going back and bending the knee. Oh, you can't talk about skin markers because you're not Native American. Well, okay, fine. Why are you have bikini as an Asian woman for
I'm
Voldemort?
just saying, it's just.
And or why are you speaking black?
I think we're on different pages here, man. I'll be honest.
Well, like they talk about all these things. She constantly bent the knee to this crowd, and then for the first time ever, she says, "Okay, no, we're not doing that." And it's like, and then all of a sudden she's a transphobe and this horrible thing, and I'm like, wow, for the first time in almost 10 years, I finally respect.
She's kind of, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. Let's just say that.
That's fine. But I'm a huge fan, and honestly, with the woke people running away from it, it just motivated me to go towards it.
Yeah, I can understand that. A lot of people go that way, you know. They don't like cancel culture. They don't like that kind of stuff, so they gravitate towards that.
Yeah, and it's actually
I like the original stories, so I'll stick to liking the original stories and no added information, please. Please and thank you.
Well, I am excited for Hogwarts Legacy. You guys were talking about games a little earlier, and I'm very excited for that in particular.
Oh yeah, that should be good, man. That should be dope.
Hogwarts Legacy is great. And actually, with all the stuff surround there, that couldn't walk away without controversy either. So it's like, all right, whatever. But on a video game note, Mortal Kombat 2021, the movie.
Yeah, we were actually just talking that a little bit earlier. Have you seen it yet, Wes?
I did actually. I watched it
What'd you
twice.
think, man?
I liked it. I mean, it's flawed. It's really, really flawed, but I liked it. Yeah.
Nice,
Like for example, like if it's Mortal Kombat. I'm not looking for something deep. I'm literally looking for schlocky action film. I got schlocky action film. I was kind of.
It's based on one of the worst Van Damme movies. I'm just saying, you know.
Right. It's like honestly, the only thing I didn't like was one particular character dying, and it's like, wow, that was early, and that was kind of bullshit. But all right, whatever. That was. Are we okay for spoilers here? Are we okay for spoilers here?
I don't know. Maybe not yet. Just because it just came out yesterday.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether if I want to see it or not. So
I'll give it a recommendation, but I'm going to freely admit I will be the first one to admit the first half really, really sucks. The only thing that saves it is the second half, and I'm not gonna lie, the fights were fun, and I'm not asking for much. I wasn't asking for something. And the one thing is, I didn't have to give it a single woke strike, so there's no wokeness in it whatsoever. Even though a lot of people tried to make it controversial because no Johnny Cage because he's the white guy or whatever. It's like, oh, who gives a fuck? Johnny Cage is mentioned at the end of the movie anyway, so it's like, get out of here.
I heard that the director is actually saving him for the sequel.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, yeah.
I mean, apparently the script for this one is actually, when you see it, you'll understand what they meant. But it's actually a prequel to the actual tournament, the Mortal Kombat tournament. So it's like, well, okay, now I see why. Because Johnny Cage really kind of was the audience character. They tried to do that with a new character, Cole Young, and I'm going to say it, I've seen Planks of Wood more interesting. Oh yeah, and Sonya Blade kind of was pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie. Although at least they didn't fucking Mary Sue her. They basically constantly put her down, berated her, treated her like shit. She got her ass beat, so she wasn't some kind of I am strong as I am woman. The only moment you could argue that actually happens is when she fucking at the very end, when she just all of a sudden, because they give this weird explanation of how these characters have their powers. And she just literally throughout the film, it's the whole point of her character arc was that you don't have this special gift. You're useless. You're da-da-da-da-da, right? And then at the very end, she gets it and she just like fucking instantly learns it while the other characters like took the entire film to do it. And I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. But you kind of, to be fair, you spent most of the film getting your ass beat, so I can't really get too pissy.
Now in the chat here, Sporkman says actually he's had some issues with the movie. He said the actor who played Sonya was horrible. Yeah,
she like I said, she was again. I've seen honestly. I'm gonna say it. The best character in the movie was Kano.
Kano was always the best character. Kano and Scorpion.
Have you guys actually? Who here watches?
Even in the games, Kano does kind of steal the show a little bit.
Okay, well, who here watches Isaac Butterfield, the comedian, the Buttstorm?
No,
I don't think so.
He's an anti-SJW YouTuber, stand-up comedian. He's also an Australian stand-up comedian. Pretty funny guy. Most of the time, he just rips on vegans and feminists. But, most of the time, that's kind of his gimmick. Although he does.
Wait, he's in this movie? Shit, I want to watch it. Is it in the movie?
No, but like Isaac Butterfield, literally, like honestly, the guy playing Kano is just doing an Isaac Butterfield impression the entire fucking time, and I'm like, this is fucking glorious because it's honestly, he just takes a rip out of everything. Like he doesn't shut up. Like it's like we're trying to make this serious discussion. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Pretty much every time. He's the guy. He's like us in the background, literally making fun of everything in the movie. It's trying to take itself seriously, and then we're the one pulling the rip out of it. It's like he's us. He's like he's the real audience. Like they try to make Cole Young the member of the audience who you relate to. Dude, everyone relates to Kano. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Cody was saying earlier how they tried to throw in like a person who was supposed to be like the audience character essentially.
Yeah, and it's like that was useless considering that's supposed to be Johnny Cage's character. Johnny Cage, Johnny Cage. If you watch the original '95 movie and all subsequent incarnations, including MK9, including that animated cartoon that came out a couple of months ago, Mortal Kombat: Scorpion's Revenge. They all have Johnny Cage represent the audience because he's a bullshit piece of shit Hollywood actor who's washed up and
that's kind of redundant though.
Yeah, but he represents the audience. Like he basically's like he's getting pulled into this world of mysticism and hoodoo, and we're like, okay, but rumor has it that the Miz, the wrestler, is actually trying to get the role. And I'm looking at that and went, that makes way too much fucking sense. Like, too much sense. There are certain actors who are like, no, but this character... And like in this film, they got the black Jimmy Olsen to play Jax. And I'm like, okay, all right. The Black Ranger from the 2017 Power Rangers remake, he's Liu Kang. And... Liu Kang, honestly, he's like the guy they got. His name is Ludi Lin. The guy literally, when he takes his shirt off, he looks like Bruce Lee, like just muscle, and it actually looks kind of gross of how much muscle he's got. And I'm saying that as someone who works out, and I'm like, okay, that's a bit too much muscle. That's like what 5% body fat, maybe. Yikes. But otherwise, there were, like I said, I have a lot of problems with the actual movie. Like the first half is rushed straight to hell. They don't explain anything of why the special forces are connected, why this, that, the other thing. Why are they operating out of a freaking shanty? It's like, and Raiden's a dick, more than usual, and so many things. But I will say, I ultimately enjoyed the film because it was a schlocky action. It was a schlocky action film that harkened back to the 80s and 90s, and I wasn't complaining about that. And it also has some pretty sweet-ass fatalities. I'm not going to lie.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I heard. The action is good. It's pretty funny, and the fatalities are just on point.
Well, Kung Lao gets the best fatality hard press. He actually gets it one of his video game fatalities.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm not going to say which one, but let's just say if you're a fan of the second trilogy of games, Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, Deception / Armageddon, which is that second trilogy of games. Let's just say he fatalities one of the characters from that particular trilogy.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about watching it tonight, to be honest. So
yeah, like I said, I actually want to see more of this. I want to see this go forward. I mean, it's not Sonic the Hedgehog where it's like where I was pleasantly surprised. And yeah,
should we talk about Sonic? I mean, Sonic came out. I don't think we came out when we were on the podcast. I can't remember, but I heard that movie was really good too. I missed that
Sonic
one too.
Is great. Like honestly, I was even more. I was shocked by how good Sonic was. It's not. Really? I'm going to say Mortal Kombat 2021 isn't as good as Sonic as a film by any stretch. It's actually it's very much the phrase B movie. Like literally,
not the B movie with what's his face from Seinfeld.
Yeah. But it defines it literally is it's like almost defining B movie. It's a B movie in the fourth degree. It's not like Sonic, like surprisingly good, but I enjoyed the shit out of it.
We do actually have a question from
let's say Kung Lao is great in the movie for what little we see of him, but I can't say anything else without spoiling it because
fair enough.
Kung Lao is one of my favorite characters. Between him, Kenshi, and Ninja Smoke.
Looks like we have another person. Let's see here.
Yeah. Kung Lao.
Sporkman. Sporkman, welcome.
The Spork. The money.
Hey. We were just talking about.
I think he wants in on the Mortal Kombat chat. I think he wants in on it.
Is that why you were like, get me in here, man? I got to talk about it.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You're coming through loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. So I saw that you guys were having the stream because I got the message, so I wanted to jump in. But yeah. So like I agree with Wes. Like I don't want to give away what happened. Like Kung Lao was actually really like I thought all the Asian actors were casted very well.
Yeah, they were great.
They were great, excellent actors, especially who they got to play. Hanzai was great.
Fucking Scorpion was fantastic.
Yeah,
the problem is all the best characters we see very little of. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. But like,
real quick, sorry to interrupt you there. Is there any way if you click on your little 3 dots on your icon, any way you could edit your mic settings and turn the volume down just a little bit?
I don't need to. I can turn it down on my end. I don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just a little bit. Sorry about that. It was coming
so. Yeah, I'm not going to be in long because I'm still in the middle of doing some stuff. But
okay.
I at least want to pop in. It's the 50th year anniversary, so congratulations.
Thank you, man. Congratulations to all of us, man.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, 50 years? Wait, are we that old?
I'm an old man now.
That explains why I feel so old all of a
Well,
sudden.
think about it. Sportman's been with Wikid at least 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys had already been doing stuff for 2 years before that.
True.
So
that's true, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were just saying when we first started that with Cody, he was pretty much the first one that we signed on.
Yeah,
he was part of the whole 5 years.
Yeah.
Is Frankie here, or are they actually just silent?
I think he's here. Yeah.
But unfortunately, Matt lives in Michigan. He lives in the armpit of the United States, where like.
You literally missed me making fun of Detroit. You literally missed that. God damn it.
I heard.
I always wanted to visit Detroit only because I'm a huge RoboCop fan. So I don't know. I'm kind of I'm kind of hesitant.
Yeah, Detroit doesn't look like
Matt's just observing. He's observing everything. That's fine. That's fine. I'm doing the same.
Making a list.
Checking it twice.
No, we're not
and of course,
checking it twice.
We're going to find out who's naughty or nice.
Oh, for fuck's sake. God damn it.
All right, I'll see my way out of here. All right.
But back to Mortal Kombat real quick, if you guys don't mind. The thing is, like, I watched it. Where's Matt going?
I'm playing.
Like, coming back to Mortal Kombat, like, the biggest issue I really had with the whole movie, and I do agree with Wes, like, why the hell are they working out of a freaking trailer? But Sonya was horrible. Jax was great. I love Jax. Jax was they perfectly casted
Everybody
Jax.
loves Jax.
Yeah. I think they, once again, I don't know what it is with them with Sonya Blade casting these really trashy actresses who I don't think can play the character at all. She was not Sonya Blade, in my opinion.
Interesting.
You know who should have been Sonya Blade? This MMA fighter called
Gina Carano.
Roddy Rollins is actually actually blonde Gina Carano.
Well, Ronda Rousey was Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat 11, so the fact that she didn't play Ronda Rousey in the movie is she didn't play Sonya Blade in the movie is fucking surprising.
Well, they went after a lot of Australian and Western Australian actors and Chinese and stuff like that because it was all filmed in Australia, and they did it to keep the costs down.
Oh, that's weird.
I mean, that makes sense.
That's so strange when you see it.
I would have actually said I would happily accept because he's actually power campaigning at this point for the role. I would happily accept the Miz as Johnny Cage.
Oh yeah, I agree completely. Like I think him or there's one other guy I think would do the role really well. Another WWE wrestler, but I think they embody the role. That really well. I will say I agree. Kano was very well casted. Like I said, Jax was very well casted. I think the two biggest downsides were the main character. Although he looked the part, I felt that he just wasn't the greatest.
Well, he was a legit fighter, so it's like I believe that he was a good fighter. I believe all that stuff, but I've seen better acting out of a plank of wood.
Yeah,
so,
and that if you can get past him. in his acting, but a lot of the other stuff, like I said, the fighting stuff was great. The lore was great. The only other issue I had with the film was the fact of how the mark is transferred, because that's not in lore at all. Period. No. That is not in Mortal Kombat lore.
They tried to give an explanation as to how they can shoot fireballs and shit like that. The only thing actually that I didn't care for, I didn't mind that much. The only thing that pissed me off outright was that it's like, okay, you're taking the concept of Mortal Kombat 3 and blowing it so far out your ass that you basically made the tournament redundant.
Yeah. Well, like, the thing, I mean, they took a good guy and they made him bad, first off.
Well, yeah. But no, what I'm talking about is actually that Mortal Kombat 3, if anyone knows the video game, and it's also an MK9 if anyone wants to know, the whole thing is that Shao Kahn breaks the rules for the first time ever and invades a realm without Mortal Kombat. So, yeah. And that was the whole point. And yet, for some reason, they said, screw it, even though this is a prequel to the first Mortal Kombat game, if you will, we're just going to do that exact same thing and thus make Mortal Kombat redundant. It's like, why then? Like, why fucking bother? It's like why bother with a bloody tournament at all if they can literally do it? When literally the whole point is that Raiden should actually have the power to come down on any of them if they do that. And that's actually was the whole point of Mortal Kombat 3. He invaded the realms, and then Shao Kahn severely got his ass beat by Liu Kang again. Although I think it was implied that Liu Kang was powered by the Elder Gods at that point. And then in MK9, where they did the retelling of that, the Elder Gods empowered Raiden instead. But ultimately, they fucking came down on his ass hard.
Yeah.
So and that was kind of the whole friggin' point. So basically, the gist of it is, don't invade a fucking realm without Mortal Kombat. You know? And so they kind of made it redundant. I mean, I think they were trying to make it more in line with the Mortal Kombat 10 and Mortal Kombat 11, where they don't really do tournaments anymore. They just kind of do like, oh yeah, we're just going to cross the realms willy-nilly, and it's going to be good versus evil, and there's a big multiversal threat at the end of it, like Shinnok and Kronika, and it's like, okay, but guys, that don't pertain necessarily to the fact that one realm is invading the other. It's like, so you're basically trying to take two things that don't fit together and make them fit together. Who are they? Justin Trudeau? Like, get out of here. Like, that was kind of like, it literally made the whole Mortal Kombat thing redundant. So
yeah,
like,
that's interesting, man. That's interesting. We'll see if it gets a sequel. I guess if it does well enough.
I hope so. Because I like it. Like I said, I like it enough that I would like to see more of it. But I just hope that with subsequent films, you have Ed Boon and Tobias come along and say, okay, especially Ed Boon, because like they go, it's like, okay, can we just go more here? Give them a little more creative input, because you look at the games themselves, especially MK9, 10, and 11, the last three games, all three of them could easily be movies. In fact, they pretty much are movies, just with like brief interludes where you control.
Actually, I've come to think that movies have become redundant because games are so well written lately.
Yep.
That they're like a movie you can play, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid started a lot of that because a lot of people finally saw for the first time that you could actually make really cinematic games and actually make it, even with the gameplay, it could be really cinematic if the person playing is very skillful.
Even MMOs are proving this capable. Look at Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy completed that with, honestly, I want to say with probably 10, they actually showed people that you can make a cinematic RPG, and then
even 7,
probably
7 I would say
15 that showed that you could do that, but everybody's like, fuck that.
Well, with 14, it was like 14. You guys were talking about bad games that people didn't come back to, and then like example with Battlefront 2, with No Man's Sky, and all these other games. But 14 did that first. 14 was the worst MMO ever made. Period. Full stop. And then they, in 2.5 years, behind everyone's back, an entirely separate development team rebuilt Final Fantasy 14 from scratch and put it out as A Realm Reborn. And ever since then, it has now become the best MMO. It actually periodically trades places with World of Warcraft as the top MMO. That
is true. I did forget all about that, and that's probably because I don't play that. But that is the only
dude,
AAA
it's
studio that I know of that has done something like that.
Well, honestly, 14 has a free trial up to the end of the first expansion, Heavensward, which in and of itself is great. And they basically give you everything. The only things you can't do is you can't join a guild, and you have a guild cap, and that's about it. But honestly, I recommend anybody play 14 at least for a little while because the story is actually very, very well crafted. It's a little slow to start. I will deny that. But however, once you get going, and especially when you get to Heavensward and Shadowbringers, you're like, holy shit! It really you think MMO, even the MMO genre, is getting touched with cinematic storytelling, and that's the MMO genre.
But I disagree with that. I think it's been around for a while. If you've ever played Final Fantasy XI, there was huge story arcs in Final Fantasy XI. You know,
yes, there was, but they weren't told in a cinematic fashion.
They had a lot of cutscenes and stuff like that. You know, and I think a lot of your Final Fantasy, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-2, 12. With Zodiac Age and stuff like that, they were all because 12 really was an MMO. It was just an offline MMO.
If anything, they're just getting better. Like I feel like even with Star Wars MMO, was it Old Republic?
Old Republic.
That was some nice cinematic stuff with that one too, with the way you could choose dialogue
I think what it is we're coming to a platform where a lot of these mediums have pulled things from everything else. Like if you look at like movies, they pulled so much from the comic universes, and they're now telling stuff that was only told in comics. You know what I mean? And you're now having games that are pulling stuff from movies, and now you're having stuff that were originally told in movies are now told in video games.
Crossover.
Yeah, it's like, and then you see then you see comics that have that are based on video game properties, like Injustice. God of War comics. Yeah, God of War comics. I think we're getting to a point where all these mediums are going to overlap so much. And I love it because it
sounds like heresy, but I really, really fucking hate Injustice.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. Yeah, see, I love Injustice.
Sorry, I take it back. I amend my statement. The gameplay is fine. The story is dog shit thrown in a blender and hit during.
Those are some strong words. Those are some fighting words right there, man.
Dude, if you ever read the Injustice comics,
I did. I did. Now you made it even further.
Injustice is probably the best stuff that DC put out before they went to hell.
Yeah,
Injustice comics are really, really good.
Superman Rebirth is the best stuff they did before they put out.
I think both. I think they both Rebirth and also the Injustice stuff are some of the best stuff that I've come across, in my opinion. And that's the one great thing. We all have our opinions of what we like.
The reason I was going to say, sorry not to interrupt you, Wes. I was going to say, I actually was really got into the new Future State event they did earlier this year. Yeah, I know.
There was a couple titles there. Like Yara Flores was actually really good. Like I really enjoyed that. Cool. That was really good. The Superman left me. The Superman story art. Okay. They were kind of
That's fair, yeah. I just love the idea of future stuff.
Batman, basically just Black Panther Man, basically.
I just love the idea of like what's the future look like. I'm a big fan of like speculative fiction on the future. So for me, it was like fascinating just to see what could the DC universe like.
But we had that before though. Final Night. Final Night was actually the Final Night series actually was like the ending of the DC universe.
Oh, interesting.
What about Marvel 2099?
Once again,
there's always going to, in large franchises, there's always going to be a end scenario.
Yeah.
But they can always play it off like, oh, that's that multiverse. Now there's this one. And it's like, can you please just end and move on?
They're replacing Superman, putting him in a T-shirt, and he's going to work with Manchester Black, and they're basically going to continue that story. And it's like, and honestly, I am sick and tired of constantly making Superman a bad guy, doing an evil Superman variation, or turning him into some angsty douche canoe, which is what they're going to do again. It's like because he's going to put on the black.
Don't watch the Snyder Cut, man. I got bad news. Don't watch the Snyder Cut.
Oh, I already know the Snyder Cut is shit. So there we go.
Well, not that part. I just meant specifically the black.
Why not?
Or not.
I don't know why people like expected Zack Snyder to make a masterpiece. I mean, it's Zack Snyder.
It's better than the original. I'll give him that. It's way better than the The
that's
Whedon
not
cut.
saying much though.
So,
Oh yeah, the thing is with me with the Snyder cut, like for me, like it explains so much that was going on in Batman versus Superman and Man of Steel. I felt that it literally was a nice wrap up to that series.
So in short, you replaced explosive diarrhea with a log. That's all you do.
Hey, I'd rather have do you have the douchebag or the turd sandwich? I would rather have the turd sandwich.
I am sick. Like, I am beyond sick and tired of evil Superman. I am sick and tired of deconstructionist Superman. And frankly, not since Rebirth have we actually had a halfway decent Superman story with Clark Kent, because now we're going to replace him with John Kent is now going to be named Superman. You still haven't undone Bendis' screw-ups yet, and you want me to accept John as being Superman when no one wants him to age up? They want him going back to being a 10-year-old? It's like, you're literally doing the exact opposite of what audiences want.
Yeah. Like I think, like, to me, like when Bendis came on, literally and this is what frustrated me so much, because one of the big things I really wish they would do in comics is show family, the family in the nuclear family.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it's in you have a husband and wife, or you have two gay couples and with a kid. You're still showing a nuclear family because they're playing those roles. Mm-hmm. But when you take your most iconic character, Superman, and you literally destroy the marriage that they had survived through Convergence, and they have this kid who literally is struggling because he's half Kryptonian and he's half human, and he's struggling to learn these things, and you're having Clark guiding him as a father, you're like, oh man, that's nice to see a father figure. Nope. I'm going to have Lois Lane divorce Superman, and she's going to end up with Morgan Edge, and I'm like, you literally just destroyed one of the greatest arcs you could have had.
That's been going on since the Ultimates. I mean, the trend that's going on since then is like, let's make everything like darker, and let's turn everyone into an asshole with a lot of issues.
Basically, like the shit, get used to it mentality, and it's like, you know what? I am sick and tired of it. And Rebirth did it right, and then Bendis. I made a video about it years ago. I knew Bendis was going to come to shit. I called it long before.
No, we all agreed when they know. The thing is, like, I even noticed it back, when I did my review of all the Superman, Rebirth lines, because I did the trades, and I said when Bendis came in, he's going to destroy everything, because the fact of he destroyed much of Marvel. He had a good thing going in the Ultimates universe, and then he went and destroyed most of what he created.
Going back and reading Daredevil, Marvel's his run on Daredevil, which is behind me. I actually have a Daredevil shelf and his run is in there. And honestly, going back and reading it now, you're like, why is this so revered? Like, honestly, I'm going back with Ultimate Spider-Man. Now having said that, with Ultimate Spider-Man, he actually still, to this day, in my opinion, wrote the Bible on how to write a superhero comic and charged.
Oh, I agree.
But cut to Daredevil. He literally followed what Jeff Loeb and all the guys, all the morons at Marvel TV followed. And basically, he's taking the piss out of every single thing we love about superhero comics and saying, it's stupid, it's shit. Why are we doing this? Why is he wearing a costume? Why is he this? Why is he going to church? He's Catholic. Why are we doing this? Why is he doing that? Why is he not doing this? Like, why are you giving a shit about shit that no one cares about? Except for morons like you who hang out in comic book shops thinking you're being avant-garde and edgy.
No.
Because he used to own a comic book shop, or maybe he still does. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. They all went out of business anyways. And I'm really gonna say it. Like, you assholes like that. It's like, you're idiots. And even Ethan Van Sciver has said it about people like Jim Lee. It's like, they're more concerned about, well, how do his powers work? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? I
think Alan Moore said it best, because he said that people refuse to grow up and they want comic books to grow up with them. And then they're like, oh, let's find a scientific explanation for everything. Let's give them like more depth and current year problems. No, man, they're superheroes. They're supposed to be funny books.
You can still have depth. You can still have scientific explanations. You can still have psychological validity in your comic books. I mean, that's all well and good. But there's a fine line between adding psychological validity, adding some kind of reason behind it, and then just being a dick. And it's like, and these morons, like, literally, it's like, okay, I'm willing to bet more than half of them have never felt the inside of a vagina in their lives, and the other half probably got sexually assaulted in one capacity or another and hate themselves for it.
Well, I wouldn't know that part.
Well, no, I think I think a lot of them just didn't grow up. In all honesty, that's just what it is. Is I see this current generation is like a lot of them grew up in such a cautelized environment, like they can't distinguish between fact and fiction.
Do not get me started on my own.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. A lot of like us who grew up in the in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. Most of us we knew what. Harry Potter was not supposed to be the Bible on real things. You know what I mean?
It was now granted it became as popular as Gen X and Boomers got attached to Star Wars, and we just got attached to Harry Potter.
Right.
But but even Star Wars, everyone is treating Harry Potter and fucking Star Wars as surrogates for religion. It's like, well, that's what happens when you literally have an entire marketing campaign from the government on down. And to hating the church, and basically because they're a bunch of child pedophiles and all this other stuff, and that's all deep tinfoil that shit that I'd rather not get into here.
Yeah, but anyhow, let's get back to celebrating. Hey, real quick update, guys. I'm going to tell you, and this is part of the reason why I wanted to jump in. So Eric and I are meeting on Tuesday. We found some issues within the comic that we particularly didn't care for on the trade, so we are going to be working on that on Tuesday, getting some of that stuff fixed. So hopefully we should be able to turn around in about a week or so and go into pray.
Oh yes, dude, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked,
so the stretch line, the goal is almost there, and this goes back to show you guys. I hope the people that are listening out there don't give up. No matter what, especially if you didn't fund on a Kickstarter, yes, it took a little bit longer, but we got the funds together. We got stuff. We're getting stuff done. And I do apologize to all our backers and stuff like that, but, we had to kind of reorganize, and this is the thing is, every single one of us here understands that it is just not a one and done game. It is a long process that takes a long time.
Yeah, it has a lot of stumbles and hurdles to get over.
Yeah, well, who would have thought this whole past year wouldn't have? We never expected this whole past year to happen.
No, it's still happening as far as I'm concerned.
Oh well, yeah. My state my state now is skyrocketing. And even though we have a high amount of people who have the vaccine, we actually are now skyrocketing again. One of the highest states with COVID numbers.
Are you still locked down?
Kind of, yeah.
There's your explanation. No one's going outside. No one's getting their vitamin D. No one's being.
Yeah.
I'm taking the supplements, man. You can't keep me down.
Yeah, I'm taking the. I take 3 vitamin Ds a day.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin W.
I use my education here, but
I take a lot of zinc because I'm going bald and I want to preserve my hair, and turns out it's protecting me against COVID.
Zinc does. Yep.
Zinc is one of them. The other half is that if you're taking D3 on its own, it actually just sits in your system.
D3, isn't that the new Disney platform that just launched?
But no, D3, the vitamin D3 actually needs an activator. There is a vitamin variant called K2 plus D3. K2 activates the D3 in your system.
Yes, or you can actually, if you take a multivitamin, it'll do the same thing.
Multivitamins are actually not that healthy for you, believe it or not. They actually overemphasize ones that are unnecessary, and they underemphasize ones that are not necessary.
Yeah.
You want to take.
Well, that's right. Yeah, you gotta find the correct multivitamin that will.
I never take multivitamins. I only take individual vitamins. So, like example, I actually look for the various B chains I need. I look for the various branched chain amino acids I have. I need certain ones. So, example, if I need to emphasize this and that, you get the individual ones. Do never take a multivitamin. They're not healthy for you at all. I can link you guys to directly to some of my sources on that. And let's just say, not good for you. Not good. No, not good for you at all, comrade. But take your D3, take your zinc, take your vitamin C, take liberal amounts of it. And funny thing is, like I said, doctors are actually in the UK and France are actually literally injecting patients with high, medical pharmaceutical grade fucking doses of D3 because they're realizing, oh, wait a minute, this helps with COVID. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's my biggest thing is a lot of people, you can get the virus, but if you're not getting your vitamins and you're vitamin deficient, because that's actually what I found out why I was having a lot of health problems, because I was actually deficient in B12 and vitamin D3.
Yep.
Like I literally was breaking. I'll kid you guys not. I would walk up the steps and I would actually lose balance. I actually was breaking bones because I was so deficient.
Yep.
In
Have you
like
started exercising?
what do you call Unbreakable? Have you seen that movie Unbreakable?
Yeah, basically, like, I used to have very strong bones. Like, I never broke. Like, I only ever broke like one bone in my body when I was in high school, and that was because I landed on my wrist and by accident. But like, what was happening? Like, my body, because I have IBS, and so basically, it was leaching all of my, with IBS. It literally just is leaching everything out of my system, and going to find out, I had all my vitamin levels checked and stuff like that, and it was B12 and vitamin D, which are both very for bone development.
Have you started exercising?
Yeah, I don't exercise right now because I try to walk, but I actually have a torn my hip. I need replaced, so
okay. See what you can do within your limitations, because it turns out increased cardiovascular and muscular health, not just weightlifting, but also cardiovascular, also, believe it or not, it boosts your immune system.
I know. Yeah.
And that's what the thing my governments do not understand, because that's why there's what was going on right now. It's called the gym rebellion. A lot of gyms, especially in Mississauga, there's one gym called Huff Gym. They're a boxing gym, which means they're a gym of boxers.
Yep.
And the cops are like, we're not fucking finding them. We're not shutting them down. This isn't like, because I don't know if you guys heard about this. Did you guys hear about a barbecue back in November that got attacked by the mounted unit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Adamson Barbecue, Adam Skelly. Well, that happened in Toronto, and because Eileen Davila, basically abused her position because she somehow managed to get her hands on police powers that she naturally shouldn't have to, and is probably going to be facing a lawsuit over that once all this is passed. And sent sick to the mounted unit onto them, which is illegal because the cops are not allowed to arrest this person, and all they can do is fine him and see it in court. And I guess the mayor of Mississauga, which is the town over from Toronto, realized this because this isn't just some guy with a barbecue. No. This is a gym that's been here for over 20 years, and every single one of them is jacked to shit, and all of them look like Mortal Kombat fighters. You really, really want to friggin' go up against people whose literal MO is to punch you in the face repeatedly. It's like, that is moronic. We'll charge him with $500,000. I went, and I heard that. The mayor was literally, I watched her fuming, and I started laughing as hard as I could because I realized something. I said, guys, all of your fines are unconstitutional. All of your charges on it are already, everyone you've ever fined who hasn't paid up, all of them are getting thrown out in court. The court's looking at that. That's unconstitutional. We're out of here.
I mean, that happened here when they first locked us up inside of our homes back in 2020. 99% of the fines were thrown out by the courts because it was unconstitutional. They can't lock us up in our homes. We didn't do anything,
Freedom of access, freedom of movement, and not to mention the gym. Literally, it's like, dude, they have a right to free enterprise and free business, and on top of that, all you can do is find these guys. You're really gonna stick them out of you. In fact, they tried to sick a cop there, and the cop actually started giving them hugs and hanging out with them. It's like, you fucking morons. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, dude, that means there's still hope for Canada. I mean, people are.
There is, and actually, there was about 2,000 people just went out marching the streets. We went looking for them, but they already left Queens Park by the time we got down there. And so, but I saw the footage on YouTube, and it's like, people are finally realizing we're kind of done here. It's 2021. Your shit's not changing. In fact, it's going up. It's not the people. It's you, Doug Ford. It's you, Justin Trudeau. You're the problems.
Hey, real quick, guys, I'm going to drop out here. I got to go back to doing what I need to do. But congratulations. I just want to pop in real quick.
No problem,
thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. Have a good weekend, dude.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
But I think I've kind of ranted and raved and kind of derailed half the podcast stuff. You're probably going to have to censor me half. I was like, oh shit, here comes again. Censor.
Yeah, I think
definitely demonetized now.
We're probably demonetized.
It's like the episode of South Park where they had to censor out the Muhammad image.
It may not be that extreme.
Honestly, on every pod, if you guys ever get monetization, every episode I'm in. Instantly demonetized. So many F-bombs get
Oh
dropped.
god.
So
They might not even do it because of me myself in general.
Those would
So
have to go by the paywall.
Well, actually, I mean, most people are heading over to Rumble and Odyssey because, I mean, everyone knows YouTube is a shitbox. So it's like,
YouTube is definitely an interesting place. From my understanding, they don't
they
make
give
money.
themselves awards for free speech while censoring everybody. Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, we could probably do a whole episode on that.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube,
It's
I'm
like,
sure.
but honestly, I've I'm actually honest and heading over to Rumble, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, Rumble's a Canadian company, which is actually nice, and they have monetization over there. Odyssey's doing it as well, and basically, it's funny what these big tech companies don't seem to grasp very well is that desperation is the mother of innovation. And if you're literally cutting people off and creating a monopoly, it's like there are going to people who are going to make alternative tech platforms to get around your shenanigans. It's like that's literally how the world works. It's like they think they have all this power, and in their hubris, they screw it up.
Well, it's interesting. I was listening to a podcast, and they were saying how essentially all you need to do is create a chat client and then sell it, and you'll be a billionaire. It's like every 4 years, just come out with a new chat client. And,
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
And people are moving, like I said, Parler got attacked because of Donald Trump and all that stuff. But it's like, there's other places. I mean, Gab, I think there's a new one coming out. There's Telegram. There's Let's Be Frank, and then the channels are Rumble and Odyssey, and everyone is leaving.
Interesting.
And everyone is leaving Twitter. Everyone is leaving Facebook. They're
leaving your minds now too, and
you guys should. Everyone should leave those freaking monsters because
I know. I told them I left Twitter. Like everyone.
You said that. You're just saying that because they kicked you off Twitter, Ibai.
Actually, I was not kicked off Twitter. I left
well, jokes on them.
Well, I honestly think this is just a natural progression. I mean, if we want to be, let's be frank, in a sense, like that's what happened to MySpace. As soon as Facebook came out, more and more people use that more than MySpace. And those were one of the original.
Nothing is
two.
permanent. Twitter,
I mean, when
Twitter may look
forums were
permanent, but it won't
around,
be.
that was the big thing. And then social media came out, and then like clockwork.
Always how it goes. Dude.
Social media took over.
You guys remember Vine?
I do.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
that's a great one right there. I mean, not only that, you can even look at
TikTok will be gone in a couple of years.
probably most likely.
I hope so. I so hope.
Well, it's like people don't realize I left Twitter because Twitter is a cesspool, and I'd rather talk about my comic than politics. But unfortunately, that place is a political cesspool. And yeah, and at this chat, I talked about politics, which is actually that's how
I for one, I'm of the SAC school of thought, and I think the human mind isn't designed to deal with social media. There's such a thing. I think it's called the Dunbar number. Actually, Zach mentioned it in a comic in a review recently. Apparently, the human mind can only process like a finite number of people. Like we have evolved to interact in a village. Like we know who the carpenter is, we know who the blacksmith is, and that's how it goes. We cannot interact with like 10,000 people. It makes us weird.
Like you can, but it's like you just won't be able to process as much information of who they are, what they do. Like working, like for me, working in retail, I just see certain people come in and out. But like certain regulars, that's the thing. Like people you see over time, you start creating a familiarity with them.
Yes.
So you start associating something with them. Like, it's funny because I have two customers. I always mix them up. I don't know why. I just do. And it's only those two customers that I do it to. So it's like something that I've associated with them got mixed up, and now I can't fix it, no matter how hard I try.
I've been teaching kickboxing for like 15 years now. And I've had like, I don't know, maybe 100 students, and I can only remember like 4 of them
because the thing is they have a personality or something about
they stand out. It's that guy who whatever the guy who did whatever that time.
Well, most people know me in my real life know I'm a bit well, I think you guys figured out I'm pretty loud, and
no, you don't say.
No, you don't say, right? And I give a bit of a whack job, so it's like, which means I'm kind of nuts. It's like, and so I kind of stick out in a crowd because that's who I am. I always try to just make people laugh and have a good time. But most people don't like someone who's that honest and kind of out there and fun and fun loving. They always want something with a bit more like suave or something that you're down, like that's like, or something wearing fake and plastic. And I'm like, that's not me, guys. It's like, you know, I dress up in a Superman costume.
I gotta respect that, man. You gotta be true to yourself, honestly.
That's the
Yeah,
more
exactly. If you're a
that is the
bombastic
moral
person,
purpose.
be a bombastic person.
Well, that is
You
the
know,
moral purpose.
just-
Stay true to yourself. It doesn't make you popular, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. Just understand people will perceive things differently than you. I mean,
Well, yeah.
that's to me, that's just number one. Just try to perceive things differently inside of your own mind to understand where others are coming from.
Well, that's the reason I got off Facebook and Twitter by and large. I mean, I'm still on Instagram because I like posting Superman photos, but even then I'm thinking about removing that too, because it's like, I already have, if people know how to, like, I kept the Facebook Messenger because it's a decent messenger, so you might as well keep it, right?
True.
And
me and Matt use it all the time.
well, no, like, yeah, like I have Facebook Messenger, and that's the only thing I keep because, like, okay, it's like it's a decent messenger. It actually works just fine, and you can operate it without having the Facebook account. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I thought about that.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're completely separated. My Facebook is
okay.
deactivated. My Facebook is deactivated, but the messenger's still active. So
that's kind of nice.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
Oh,
I can see
yeah,
that because
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people use it to keep
What was that,
communication with friends and family.
exactly, and that's
What was that, Matt Trin?
Yeah, so I gotta get off now for another stream. So I'll talk to
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
later.
Why don't you promote your other stream, man? So if you want to go check that out.
All right, I'll do that as soon as I got the link for it.
Okay, but what is it? Well, generally, what is it about?
It's a promotion stream for McKinnon Chronicles.
Oh, dope, dude. Well, yeah, we'll go and share it out once it goes out as well. Of course, if you don't know, people out there, Matt has his McKinnon Chronicles on crowdfunding right now. So yeah, go ahead and dip out, man. Go and do your other stream there. We appreciate you jumping in here. And happy anniversary, man. It's always great to have you on the stream with us, man.
always.
Yeah,
But
See you, dude.
see ya.
And then they were four.
The Fantastic Four. So okay, so for the Fantastic Four, who's Johnny, who's Reed, who's Ben, and who's Sue?
I want to be Ben.
Well, I guess
look like
I'll take dibs on Reed.
I guess I'm Sue. I'll take it. I'll take invisibility. Fuck it. And
that mean I'm the
telekinesis
Thing,
and telepathy.
No, you're Johnny.
Fuck it.
I'm Johnny. Hey, I'm Johnny Blaze, baby.
Fuck it, man. I'll go rob some banks being invisible. I don't care.
I like being a
well, you know, I'm big and heavy and I'm always depressed, so I'm definitely Ben.
Well, you think about it. If you read Richards, you can stretch any part of your anatomy. Any part.
I
he's got a big brain.
I get you, Jeff, there.
But anyways, but yeah, like honestly, that's actually why I got off Facebook, because there's so many people who are like, I knew from the Toronto cosplay scene, which is a toxic cesspool. I'm just gonna say it. Toronto cosplay, everyone is in everyone's business. It's incestuous. It's literally backbiting politics, and half of them are a bunch of bimbo models who just want table scraps that whatever they can get from Hollywood. Or Hollywood, I should say. And so it's a really shitty place to be in general, in no uncertain terms. And it was like, well, they're just saying that because, you know, they all think you're alt-right. It's like, no, I was thinking that long before they realized they didn't like me.
What are you talking about?
Toronto cosplay.
Oh, okay, really?
Toronto cosplay scene. And it's like, and these people it's a cesspool in short. And that's when I realized, like, you can't, I posted like some memes on Facebook basically advocating free speech and the typical political, like the anti-SJW line, or, you know, it's staying true to yourself.
But Wes, free speech is literal Nazism. Don't you know that?
I know, right? And that's and that was what they were losing their shit about. And I'm like, okay. And so that's when I realized I realized it's like, okay, you guys literally don't write. You don't message me. You don't say hi out of the fucking blue, but you'll give me a lecture whenever you see something that offends me. Your words are hurtful. Okay, so why am I keeping this thing on, and why am I keeping you around?
Yeah.
So
here's a funny story. When I first voiced my opinions, it was like back in 2014, maybe, when this feminist chick wrote an article about how this Teen Titans score was sexist. I was like, that's bullshit. And suddenly people whom I've heard about, like vaguely heard about, that I knew work in comics and illustration, and one began messaging me, telling me, your position is hurting your image in the Spanish industry, and it's gonna be hard for you to find work. And I was like, motherfucker, who are you? We never spoke before this. Why do you think you have the right to lecture me about my own opinions? What is this? It's, you know, they act like a fucking cult or something.
They are.
Well, it's the Wild West out here, man. This is America.
Remember, this is pre.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just people are starting to become more and more aware of other people's perception and not understanding that, yeah, you can have that understanding of someone's perception, but it's a lot more different to actually care for someone than actually, like, say you do.
Well,
You know, like that's why I don't care about someone's words. I care about their actions.
Yep,
You
absolutely.
know, and that's kind of why we go with your people's stories. We want the stories, not the creators. To me, a creator is just somebody who had this great idea and is exploring these great ideas. That's what I
It's the
want.
message within the story that's what counts.
Exactly. Exactly.
but
But at the same time, for someone to sit there and like, I would say bag on another person without understanding their perception. I don't understand that. Like to me, I don't understand how anyone could be a comic because I've actually learned a lot of the stuff, the history, the ideology of it, and to me, it's just I don't want to be a part of that anymore. No, thank you. Nope.
So that's what I realized.
I am not going to be part of any of these ideological ideas. No, thank you.
Labels are never good, man.
Well, that's
Exactly.
why
What side they come from.
it's like okay, people who care about me and know how to reach me, they know how to reach me and they will get a hold of me. You guys, for example, can reach me on Discord, not hard, and other people get a hold of me on Messenger. It's like, okay, well, they will if they want to contact me or talk to me, they will get in touch with me. They will talk to me. Whereas these people over here, it's like, who the heck are they? Like, I see you for 5 seconds at a con, you barely talk, you basically blow me off, and you act like an asshole the rest of the time. So
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody who doesn't know who you are in your personal life can't really say anything about you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
To me, that's comparing an investigator to a keyboard investigator. You know, there's a total different context and comparison.
Otherwise known as an armchair investigator for us old school.
Yes,
indeed.
Sherlock Holmes folks.
Keyboard commandos. Yeah, it's like the keyboard.
You know, and you can even extend that with people online. I mean, to me, I grew up in the age with the internet where anonymity was everything. You know, you didn't really want to share who you were. And then as soon as like I saw Facebook happening, I was like, oh, that's not going to be good. Everybody's going to be starting sharing everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh, I don't want to tell people I'm on vacation. I don't want to tell people I'm away from my home. I don't want to tell people that where I work and shit. It's like, fuck that.
It doesn't matter.
You get a point.
Man, that's just scary, dude.
Yeah,
after I've been away from...
Yeah, I mean, after I've been away from social media for like 3 months or so now, I've realized how crazy some of the shit that I did was. And I look back to it on it and I say, oh, holy shit, they know everything about me. They know where I am. They know what I like. I mean, how could I? You know, this is the
thing is we give it to them willingly. They don't even have to force our hands. We just give it to them.
That's where the term "they push an inch" and you give it to them, they'll start pushing a mile.
Yep.
You know, they'll start creeping you and creeping you and creeping you to the edge until it's too late.
That's why no matter what people say about like people like Edward Snowden, I always will have to have respect for him for what he did.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly. I mean, learning that kind of stuff like really woke my eyes up. I was like, ah, shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
No, thank you.
It really just depends on where you set your barometer. The scary thing is like, you know, for all of like these people talking about what is it? They like what do they call it? QAnon or whatever. It's like, you know, if you cut out the fact, like if you cut out some of the things that you observe, like first off, it's not QAnon, it's Q, but it's like these people, like it's like you cut out the fact that some of these morons are talking about like aliens and shit like that. It's like, okay, get out of here. But it's like, some of the shit that they've actually spoken about months ago, you're looking at now and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. You know, like some of the, and so that's why I try to take a more optimistic view of the world. It's like, yeah, shit's getting dark and cynical and brooding, but ultimately if we come out the other side and we all are better for it, then it's like, hopefully things work out. We gotta, you know, we just gotta.
Yeah. And the way you got to look at it too is that even within that lie, there is truth. Every lie is formed from a truth. It's just disguised differently.
Yeah, that's how I see it. My take is like they actually give like actual information, but they disguise it with a lot of dumb conspiracy shit like flat Earth and anti-vaccine and whatnot. But
yeah, like the vaccine thing is like with the blood clots and all that's like that is an untested product. That is actually true.
Yeah, well, I don't want the vaccine myself. I mean, I probably at some point the government will put a gun to my head. And
we're the fucking guinea pigs in an experiment that no one's bothered to talk about.
So I get my second dose in a couple weeks, so I'll let you.
I mean,
I'll let you know.
To be honest, I haven't gotten mine, but if it's like, I have no problem with people getting theirs. To me, it's just I'll give it some time. I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
let
how I see it. I mean,
I'll let a
I'm
lot of
not,
stuff come out first.
I'm not against it. I just want to wait it out and see what happens in like
Exactly.
9 months to a year, you know?
In a disease, like I said, in a disease that has 99.x recovery rate, and there are therapeutics, and if you have a healthy body system, then you're going to walk it off like it was nothing. And
I've been through COVID. And it was like a bad flu. That was
and it's like, but like I know some people are like, well, I'm still having chest problems. You're also 400 pounds, you fat fuck. The fact that you survived is a fucking miracle unto itself.
I had a flu like when I was like I think 27, something like that, and I had like a bronchitis that stuck with me for like 3 months or something like that. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. Like I had a flu. I had the actual flu, like the real flu, back in around Christmas time, and I had the fucking the sinus problems for like a week after the fact.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it though. Most of the rest of the country didn't get the flu this year, man. And there's only one reason why they didn't get it.
Well, the flu is no more. It's all COVID now.
I mean, to me, like the worst thing that's happened to me, besides breaking a bone, was honestly getting pneumonia. That was horrible. And I've never been that sick in my life again. Like, never.
Funny you mentioned.
Pneumonia kicks your fucking ass, dude. I haven't had it. But
I was on my couch and hugging my toilet for 2 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
You know, it was horrible. Luckily, it was spring break because it happened when I was in middle school. But that's the sickest I remember. And
speaking of,
besides breaking my bone, that was the worst.
Speaking of the flu, though, here's where it gets interesting. You know, someone said it in this chat about the whole flu shot. It's like, how they magically vanish. It's like, yeah, because it's like, yeah, that's biologically impossible. And here's where I started laughing. I went back and looked at the mainstream media a couple years ago, 2018 to be precise. And you know what I found from mainstream articles from CNN to CBC to fucking the Toronto Sun, even the Toronto Star. You want to know something I found interesting? It said in 2018, hospitals are in both Canada and the United States. Hospitals are threatening to buckle over this year's flu season. I went, time out. The reason Ontario, where I live, is in a lockdown is because they're saying, hospitals are threatening to buckle, and because we have a rise in cases, we're building a tent city. Time out. You said you were building a tent city to deal with the flu cases in 2018. The fact that you reported an astronomically low cases of the flu this year is biologically impossible. So anyone with 2 functioning brain cells at this point realizes they literally are having flu season and they're covering it up with COVID to justify their bullshit.
Come on. I thought you weren't going to put on the tin hat this time, man. That's just crazy, dude. That's literally bullshit. No, because to think about it, dude, no one's got the flu this year, dude. It's because they're all inside wearing masks, dude. It's obvious.
No. It's not necessarily that. It's not necessarily that. There's always a number of things as to why things happen. Like my mom, who's a nurse, she actually thinks that part of the reason why a lot of people haven't gotten it isn't necessarily because they're staying inside or social distancing. She does think that is really helping people.
Of course,
that's what she thinks. You know, I don't know. I'm not there, but at the same time, she personally thinks that a lot of it is coming from with all the interaction that's going on. You know, people are actually starting to wash their hands more. They're starting to clean surfaces more because she knows as a nurse that the dirtiest place that you can really be or the most infectious is a hospital because you're dealing with all these germs. Now imagine dealing with money all day and not cleaning your counters, dealing with food and not cleaning your counters, and all the people who make food without gloves. That adds over time.
If it stops the flu, why doesn't it stop COVID?
Well, I mean, if you think about it this way, if COVID's a virus, nothing's going to stop a virus. That's why the flu is the way it is. It's a virus. You can't kill a virus. You can only mitigate it.
Yeah, but the flu is a coronavirus, just like the COVID itself. They're all coronaviruses, and that's. I don't know.
I just think it'll be interesting to see. You know, Asian countries have been a lot less. You know, there's a lot less stigma in country. I think we're going to start seeing a more move towards that.
Well, it's because over there they've dealt with a lot of these things with bacteria and germs and stuff for a long time.
And they live so much more closely proximity. There's so many people living.
I've heard it's illegal for you to spit in public over in Japan. I was like, oh fuck, I probably shouldn't go there.
But here's the thing is that there is a study that just came out about how masks have actually caused mental health.
Come on, we don't need to get into all this, man. Come on, let's not again. This is supposed to be a celebration. Let's not get into all this extra stuff, man. That's just.
Yeah,
I think in fact, let's just start wrapping up here.
Yeah, we should probably.
like.
If we go any further, we're just going to start going about this even off the air. It's like we're just going to keep going and going and going.
Exactly, man. And,
hey, you never know. It's always fun to go into a rabbit hole. As long as you don't start talking to the aliens that are talking in your voice.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I've always thought it's like literally some of these people say these things that actually seem logical and credible, and they can back it up with this and everything. But then they mention aliens, and you're like, what the fuck? You had it right up there.
Hey, I've looked at credible things and people mention aliens, and I'm like, okay, interesting. Keep going. But then it starts turning into, and then I let them possess my body, and then it's like, hey, whoa.
And then it turns into a really weird fan fiction where then all of a sudden Edward Cullen comes out of nowhere, and it's like, I am totally going to. I don't want to know. Just get out of here.
Well, as I mentioned, I guess we should probably start wrapping up here. We're at past the 2-hour mark. I wanted to plug Matt Trin. Here's a link for his YouTube thing. He's actually doing YouTube right now, live stream for McKinney Chronicles. So if you guys want to check that out, since we're wrapping up here, go ahead and take a look there. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think it's been 5 years, man. It's wild. Like from where we started to where we are now and where we hope to go from here. I just hope it's just continue working with all you guys. It's been an honor and a lot of fun, guys.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I definitely hope to see a little bit more of Decimator's conclusions pretty soon. Hopefully, when we have everything ready to go, and then even with Charger, I want to see a lot of Charger keep going.
Well, the money talks, bullshit walks kind of thing, right? So we'll
that is very true, my friend. It's the way the world runs, right?
Indeed. Well, not if the politicians have their way, but yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what do you guys got going on? Anything you guys want to plug? Anything like that?
Not particularly this time around. I mean, like I said, I got off social media, so I don't really have much to hawk anymore. So that's like, well, you guys do all the hawking for me as my publishers.
And speaking of hawking, people should be getting their Charger books here in the mail pretty soon. We have still have more to ship out, but we sent out a handful, and so hopefully the people are getting those here and start posting some pictures.
Okay, let's hope so.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's always the fun part. And we'll get you your copy as well, Wes. I'll let you know afterward. There was some miscommunication on mine, but we'll definitely get your copies over to you as well.
Yeah, because I sent a bunch of them in my general direction because it's just been much easier for me to get to
oh, definitely. Yeah. All right, well, yeah, we'll talk then later about that. And Ebi, what do you got going on, man? Anything you want to plug?
Not particularly for me, but not just for me. I wish to plug Michael, Derricks, and our main project called Ridiculous Abductables 2. I don't know if it's still on demand. It's been funded, but that's what I'm working on currently. What else? I'm also working on Iron Sights 3. That I don't think the campaign has been launched, and Zach is taking his sweet time. Like, yeah, he sends me like 3 pages every now and then. I'm like going after him like a pet dog. Like, say, Zach, send me more pages, man.
Oh
Come
my
on.
God.
Nah, you didn't earn it, you Mexican break.
Ah, damn, he's cold, man. He's like the Terminator, man.
He is.
All business.
No more bitches.
Get to the chopper, Canales.
Get to the chopper!
No,
it's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
Yeah, right. That's
Hasta la vista, baby. Bang!
Speaking of Hasta la vista, I guess that's a good as any point to wrap up here. But thank you all for hanging out with us in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, we definitely appreciate it. It's been an awesome 5 years working with all these great people, and like you've heard today and on Tuesday as well. So just want to say thank you to you guys for following our journey. Thank you for supporting us all these 5 years, and we hope that you'll keep following us along as we keep growing and expanding over the next 5 years and more. So thank you again, guys. We appreciate all you, and we'll see you guys on another future episode of the Wicked Weekend Podcast. Bye, everyone.
Adios.